Get ready.
They say they need to ban the podcast equipment and take y'all mics away. And oftentimes when I listen, shit, I agree.
For real talk.
Hey, man, just because we know people don't mean that they know things. A lot of us was in the same classes with some of these folks. That don't mean they were passing these classes.
All the time.
It ain't the world leaving you behind, man. It's your line of thinking. You think the science stopped evolving because you stopped learning, and it don't work that way. I couldn't imagine voting for somebody who thinks identifying with me is identifying with a felon. That's crazy as hell. I'm Mrs. Spann, and I'm approving these messages. This is the Mrs. Spann Official Podcast. Let's go. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Spann Official Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Spann. This is episode number 61 of the show, man. And I am coming to you after the holidays, man. Happy post-Thanksgiving, happy, what's the shit that we say? Happy belated Thanksgiving, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope you guys had a very wonderful holiday, man. I hope you got around your family. I hope the Thanksgiving meal was uneventful. Right. I hope that y'all shit was uneventful. I hope that you were able to just enjoy the holiday. I hope that you were able to enjoy the food. I hope that you were able to enjoy the company that you were around for the holiday, man. Real talk. Because, man, a lot of us have some things to be thankful for and thankful about, and some of us are having a hard time, man. Real talk. And so I think the fact that we are in a spirit of thanks and the spirit of gratitude and everything else, man, I think is incumbent upon us to kind of reflect and remember those of not only like the people that we are glad to still have around us, but also some of the people that we lost, right? And so I say all that because I do know a couple people who did lose folks around this holiday season, man. So I know it's a very tough time for them, and I want to send my condolences to all of them who have lost not only like daughters but fathers and everything too, man. It's been a really very rough time for them, and so I want you guys to know that I'm thinking about you guys, man. I'm praying for you guys, and I hope that you receive some level of comfort from the community around you in this time, man. Real talk. But also, for those of us who are not necessarily suffering from some of those losses, man. It's a time for us to be, grateful and thankful for some of the things that we were able to witness, and some of the things we were able to do, and some of the things we were able to take care of, and some of the things we were able to enjoy. And I'm telling y'all right now, man, I am enjoying the fuck out of the fact that my Lions are 11-1, baby. Enjoying the fuck out of that, nigga. Like, I was at that game, man. That shit was glorious, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, man. My booty hole was a little clenched. And my shit was clenched at the last, the fourth quarter, man. I'm like, hey, man, the shit ain't looking good, man. We let these motherfuckers back in the game, man. I've been talking cash shit in the family group chat. I don't need the family coming back on your boy, man. But the Lions almost gave that shit up to the Bears. So one thing I am thankful for, is that Matt Eberflus was the coach of the Chicago Bears during this Thanksgiving Day game here in Detroit, man. MAGA! Yeah, man, that shit was glorious, man. When they went on that last play, bro, and he threw that damn ball, and it was like a play to nowhere. They didn't even call the timeout. Them niggas had a whole timeout, bro. They had a whole ass timeout. They didn't even call that bitch, man. And I'm like, yo, and I looked at the clock. I'm like, that shit said 000. And then I'm looking at my boy Jason, because I had my boy Jason with me. My wife was with me, and what was that? My boy Jason had his girl with him or whatever else, and we was at the game. And I'm like, hey, this shit's over. And it was funny though, because even the niggas on the sideline didn't know the game was over. It was over. And I was like, yo, man, we won this bitch. Woohoo! Let's get the fuck up out of here before they change their minds, right? Before they changed their minds, man. But yo, man, it was really good atmosphere in Detroit for that Thanksgiving Day game, man. And we are playing with a bunch of our guys on defense on injured reserve, or it's a bunch of guys on our defense that's hurt. But still in all, we have been finding ways to come out with wins, man. And so right now, the Detroit Lions are 11-1, man. One good thing about the fact that we did win this game is that, like, yo, man, they don't have to play Sunday, and so they get a chance to kind of heal up to some degree, man. Real talk, because the playoffs is like right around the corner, and I can't wait. But that ain't it, dog. That ain't it, y'all. Because your man Spann is a Michigan fan, man. I went to Tennessee State University. That is my alma mater. However, I grew up rooting for the University of Michigan, and not just football, but basketball too. Shout out to the Fab Five. Okay. And, I remember last year, all of the talk about Michigan only winning these games because they had somebody on the sideline cheating and grabbing signals and shit like that, and kind of stallions or whatever else. And then we've been catching hell this year with the fact that, Michigan been losing a lot of games. I think we 7-5 or some shit like that this year. Yeah, we lost 5 games. Some of them games we probably should have won, right? But, we lost a lot of talent to the NFL. We lost a lot of coaches to the NFL, right? Don't nobody want to cut Michigan no slack, right? Because everybody think Michigan was cheating last year. But I'll be goddamn if Ohio State needs to shut all the way the fuck up after the loss they took today, nigga.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Damn.
Enough. Boy, I've been sick to my fucking stomach watching you imbeciles type things. Yeah. Stop typing. You niggas are stupid.
Today was glorious, man. Today was fucking glorious, man. The Buckeyes lost to the Michigan Wolverines for the 4th year in a fucking row, man. And I don't want to hear shit from a goddamn Buckeye fan. I don't want to hear shit from none of y'all. Y'all ain't got no more excuses, bro. No more excuses, man. We got y'all number right now. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, y'all had us for a little bit. It was nice for y'all. For a little bit. Y'all ain't got no more excuses, man. Y'all got y'all asses handed to you. And y'all had the best roster money could buy and shit. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of folks, bro. And yet and still, we came into Ohio and whooped y'all ass in Ohio with the B team and shit. We was down players. All Will Johnson wasn't playing, Colson Loveland wasn't playing and shit. We had a walk-on ass kicker and shit, a walk-on ass quarterback. Man, y'all ain't got no excuses, man. So yeah, this is why your man Spann is decked out in the maize and blue tonight. Because yeah, man, we won the big game. We won the game. And it feels good, man. It feels good to be a Detroit Lions fan and a Michigan Wolverines fan tonight, man. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Your boy Spann feeling all right. And it ain't the crown, baby. It ain't the crown. But the crown might, contribute to this a little later on, okay? Because we're going to try to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk about some dumb shit. We're going to talk about some fuck shit. But we're going to try to have some fun tonight, all right? But, of course, before we get into all of that, I got to remind you guys how to get in touch with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and let your voices be heard, man. So go ahead and hit us up at our hotline at area code 313-288-0485. That's area code 313-288-0485. Leave us those voicemail messages. Those voicemail messages will get played here and responded to here live on the show. Also, if you're watching us live here on YouTube and or Facebook, go ahead and, call that number and you can get in here with your man Spann live while we're doing the show. So that's area code 313-288-0485. And yeah, man, use that number. Leave us those voicemails and call in the show when we're doing the show, man. I love to hear from you guys. Real talk. Also, the email has been fucking up, man. The email has been fucking up. I got to figure out what the fuck is going on with my hosting situation when it comes to the email. So I'm not going to even get, y'all know it's feedback at thespanreport.com, but I want to make sure that you guys actually get those emails through. So for right now, you DM me on either Instagram or Blue Sky. Because I'm on Blue Sky too, right? I know that on Threads, there's they basically use the Instagram, instant messenger or whatever else. So if you want to, if you want to send me a direct message there, that's cool too. But yeah, man, the email for whatever reason, man, we having some issues with that. So yeah, send me a DM on Blue Sky, Instagram or Threads, man, and I'll read those emails or those direct messages here live on the show. Also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and or Spotify, man. Those 5-star reviews are the ones that get right here live in the show. We really do appreciate everybody who does that. It doesn't cost you a dime, just a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and the Spann Report Podcast Network in its entirety. Excuse me. And also, follow me on Threads and Instagram and Blue Sky, man. My name on all those platforms is Mr. Wait, let me clarify this. My name on Instagram and Threads is Mr._Spann. If you're following me on Blue Sky, it's Mr. Spann, the whole thing, just straight across. spann.bsky.social. Okay, so it's Mr. _Spann on Threads and Instagram, Mr. Spann _.bsky.social on Blue Sky. Okay, so yeah, man, follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. I've been using both Blue Sky and Threads, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Blue Sky and Threads, man, because this shit's getting a little exhausting, man. We'll talk about if I had anything to say about it, this shit's getting a little exhausting. Excuse me. But yeah, man, follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. And yo, man, if you're watching us here on YouTube, man, go ahead, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the videos on the channel, comment on the videos, man. We really appreciate those of you who do that. That also doesn't cost you a dime. That shit's free, bro. That shit's free, man. And it's a way for you to let your voice be heard on what it is that we talking about here on the show. So yeah, man, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. This is the Spann Report Podcast Network on YouTube. But also like the videos, leave the comments, thumbs up on them videos, man. And it helps us with the algorithm, and also it helps people figure out, like, hey man, what's going on over there? What this nigga talking about? What they over there talking about? And yo, man, it's one way to put on for the show. It doesn't cost you a dime, man. Now, if you do want to spend some money with us, though, if you do want to spend some bread, we do have a store, man. We got our Spann Report Podcast Network store over at TeePublic, man. And yo, real talk, I just found this out, but check this out, y'all.
We got some hats now, motherfuckers.
We got hats, man. We got hats up in the store. Matter of fact, let me pull the store up, man. Because some of y'all, I think it gotta be, you gotta see it, man. It gotta be seen to be real and shit, right? So let me pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. But let's do this here. So we got hats now, man. Them boys is on sale right now. They normally $23. They're going for $18 right now, man. Real talk. Real talk. But not only do we have the hats in different colors, because right now this hat is in black, and what's this color here? This is asphalt, and we got red, and we got dark green, and we got navy, and we got, come on, load up, and then we got deep royal. Okay, but that's not all we have here in our store, because we do have t-shirts, we got hoodies, we got tank tops, we got stickers, we got coffee mugs, we got mouse pads, we got a whole bunch of different stuff here in the store, man. So for those of you who would like to patronize us with our and give us money, man, this is one for you, not only for you to give us money, but for you to get something in return with some decent product, man. Real talk. So we appreciate everybody who does that, and thank you so much for your patronage, man. Real talk. But yo, man, let's get into the show. Man. So I did get some listener feedback from the last time I talked to you guys, man. So we're going to address the listener feedback first before we get into the rest of the show. And so let me pull this up, because I want to make sure that we address those who took the time out to write into the show and let us know what they were thinking about, right? So let's see. Where is it? I know I had this shit pulled up, but okay, so here we go. We get this. Come on, load up. Okay, so we get this here from my man Peanut. Peanut writes in and say, been a minute since I wrote in. I wanted to get your take on something instead of Trump news, since that will be here with us for 4 years. You ain't never lied about that shit, man. Since that'll be here with us for 4 years. Maybe it's my algorithm, but what's with so many people asking on Threads about Blue Sky, or even announcing on Threads, hey, I'm on Blue Sky, when I would think you will want to build your platform on Threads? It's like being on YouTube and saying, hey, I'm on Facebook. I'm slowly using Threads and Blue Sky more versus Twitter, but what's irritating me with Blue Sky is I get followers of randoms who just post and barely interact. Then those followers from that account that just followed me are now following me just to gain followers. But on Threads, I get a lot more interaction. However, a lot of those from Twitter are going to Blue Sky since it's finally getting traction instead of Threads. If you ever do a different show with tech news, social media, I'd love to try chopping it up. Hey, real talk, man, I have no problem with having guests on the show, man. I've had other listeners to the show come on and we talk about specific things, man. So like, man, the door is always open to you, man. Real talk. But as far as Threads and Blue Sky, right? So one of the things about Threads and Blue Sky, I am of the line of thinking right now that Blue Sky has become the darling of the media class, right? So like a lot of the folks that you will find who will be journalists, a lot of celebrity sort of celebrity types are kind of gravitating towards Blue Sky as opposed to Threads, and largely because I think that like the media has been pushing Blue Sky as of late, as opposed to Threads as an alternative to X, right? And so because a lot of the media class has been pushing this as an alternative to X, is becoming more and more of a it's helping with the growth of Blue Sky right now, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. I've had an account with Blue Sky for over a year. Like Blue Sky was like sort of like a wasteland. Is like, yeah, it was there was some people over there, but it wasn't a whole lot of activity going on over there. And so once, like, and the other part about this that I thought was very strange was like people waited until after the election to decide whether or not they were going to leave like Twitter or X or whatever the fuck people are calling it now. Like people waited until after the election, and I didn't understand that. I got off of Twitter. I had been using Twitter less and less over some time, and then when Elon Musk went on Twitter and openly mused about why no one was trying to assassinate Kamala Harris, that was the last straw for me. I'm like, I am no longer supporting this platform whatsoever. Fuck this nigga. And I got to fuck up off of there, right? Now, I know for some people, especially those who are journalists and things of that nature, I think for some of those folks, they feel like they have to be over there because, it's part of their job to, like, I guess they feel like they got to know what's going on over on Threads, or I'm sorry, over on Twitter and everything else. So they got to be in the mix and stuff like that. But even with that, I kind of feel like, if some shit was really popping off over there, like it wouldn't, is nothing stopping it from like leaking over into some of these other platforms, because people will they cross post all the time where they be taking some shit that happened on Twitter and posting it on Threads and posting it on Blue Sky. People are doing that shit all the time. So I don't know if we'll ever be out of the loop about the most important things when it comes to that, right? The other thing about this, man, is, I think it's all about, what you value, right? What you value for your social media experience. Like there, like the thing with Blue Sky, like that I don't necessarily like understand right now is like they don't have a trending topics like sort of thing. There's just a bunch of different feeds and shit, right? And then they do have the starter packs, but like, do I really just want to like just join the starter pack and follow everybody in the start? I don't know what the fuck this nigga is talking about. And it just seems like an artificial way to like kind of boost your follower count, that sort of thing. Whereas on Threads, man, I feel like although it took a long time for Threads to implement this, and like low key, if we keeping it a buck, a lot of the newer features that we're seeing on Threads is because I think that Facebook or Meta or whatever the fuck we're calling them now got scared of the growth of Blue Sky. So we do have you got your customizable feeds. You got a more robust trending topic section. You do have the ability to not only block somebody, but if somebody's on your, in your, mentions trolling, you can block their reply to where nobody else sees the shit. So they just basically yelling into the fucking void. You do have the ability to post videos longer than 60 seconds. You got the ability to post polls. You got the ability to post voice threads. Like there's a whole bunch of different shit that is going on Threads right now that I really do like. But it's not to say that I don't like Blue Sky. It's just that like right now I got to try to figure out what the rhythm is over there. Cause it's kind of like people are talking about is sort of like Twitter, circa 2012. I was on Twitter, circa 2012. It's not that. Right? It's not that. At least it isn't for me. Right. So I will be glad when we get to a point where like the social landscape or the social media landscape kind of settles, where, hey man, people are like, especially when they talk about the federation of your social media, where like you can be posting on Threads, but it also shows up on Blue Sky, and it also shows up on Mastodon, and it also shows up on Spoutable, and you don't have to be on all of these different fucking platforms. I will be glad when that shit finally fucking federates that way, so like I don't feel like nigga, I gotta follow your ass somewhere else, bro. Like this, I'm tired of this shit, right? So yeah, man, I agree that you know, like it's a bit irritating. Like you go on threads and you see, hey, I'm over on Blue Sky. Like, okay, I guess, nigga, like shit. You think I'm about to go follow you over there too? Especially if you're gonna be posting over here still. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I ain't about to be following you all over the motherfucking place, man. It's like, come on, bro. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I think right now people are just trying to figure out where their place is going to be. But for the time being right now, I mean, although I am on Blue Sky, I mean, I do spend more of my time on threads, man. Like, I think that there's so much more features right now on threads. And I think a lot of those features we got as a result of Blue Sky becoming more and more of a threat towards threads, right? So, like, yo, kudos to Blue Sky for pushing the envelope. But thank you for doing that, because all of the shit that they was doing on Blue Sky, they're now doing on threads. And there was even some more stuff that they were doing on threads that hasn't even made it its way over to Blue Sky, right? But yeah, man, I think it's just, you know, it's one of those things where people just got to figure out, hey, where's my next, you know, digital home? Where am I making my home, right? Because that's pretty much what Twitter became for a lot of folks. And like, I know a lot of people that, you know, part of the reason why they haven't left Twitter yet, and it's kind of a vanity thing, but like if you've built up a nice and sizable following over there on Twitter, it's hard for a lot of folks to walk away from, you know, hey man, I got like 170,000 followers over here, bro. I can't just walk away from 170,000 followers. But the thing is, if you do have that many followers, chances are, if they do value you, if they do value your commentary, if they do value your content, they will follow you wherever the fuck it is you go. So if you decide that you want to leave fucking Twitter and get the fuck away from there, and you be like, hey man, okay, cool, I'm going over here. Those people who really fuck with you are going to follow you wherever you go. And the other part about the 170,000 followers is you don't know if it's bots or not. Right? How many of those folks are like, how many of those accounts are dead, are dead accounts? How many of those accounts are people who are just like, you know, they're bots and they only just interact with you to harass you or whatever else, right? So yeah, man, it's one of those things, man. It's like people, there's an upheaval in the social media landscape. People just got to figure out where exactly they're going to start making, you know, their new homes and stuff like that when they decide that they're going to, you know, migrate away from Twitter, if they decide to do this on a permanent basis. I haven't been on Twitter for a few months now, right? I forget exactly what month that was when Elon Musk decided to, you know, advocate for Kamala Harris's assassination, but it was at that time where I just, all right, fuck Twitter, I'm off this shit, and I got rid of my account. So yeah, man, I hope I hope at some point people figure their things out. If you're liking it on threads, man, hey man, be on threads, bro, because I'm sure at some point more and more people, as much as people are on Blue Sky, those same people are on threads, man. And I'm over there too. So it is what it is, man. But I appreciate you, Pina, for writing in. Thank you for so much, brother. Thank you for listening. And I hope to hear from you again soon, brother. Real talk. Now, we did get we got a comment here on episode 60 from my man Aaron. Aaron writes in to say, Yoki getting her money's worth out of that BBL. So for those of you who may not necessarily understand what he's talking about, we were talking about Yoki Stirrup. She is the gun enthusiast and gun and influencer over on YouTube. And Yoki Stirrup, if you ever look at a Yoki Stirrup video, or better yet, not even if you looked at the video, if you just saw the thumbnail, you know why niggas is over there watching Yoki Stirrup. That ass is assing, and that's why they there. You come for the guns, and you stay for the buns, okay? And that's what's happening with the Yoki Stirrup. But Aaron's like, yo, I hope she's getting her money worth. But you know what? Here's the rub though, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ain't know that was a BBL. If that's a BBL, then I'm shit, nigga. Just God damn. Cause I thought that was all her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's a BBL or not. I mean, straight up. I mean, I just thought, you know, because she was, you know, cause she cooks this shit too, man. She be cooking like some hearty shit. So I'm thinking like maybe it was because of the food. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about a BBL, but now you got me thinking, man, like, Big Mama, your arm. You know? So we got that going on. But thank you, Aaron, for writing in, brother. I hope to hear from you again soon, man. Real talk. Now, did we do any polls last week? We did do I think we did one poll. And yeah, okay, so we did a poll. Didn't really get many responses to this poll, but it had to do with ladies, are you concerned about trans women in your bathrooms? The shit only got one vote, and the one vote was saying that they were not fucking sure about nothing. So, and not only that, I guess like one of my things that I was really concerned about was whether or not, you know, me being a man, right? And as much as I do talk, because we're gonna even talk about this shit tonight, but you know, me being a man, like, how do women feel about a man speaking on these issues when it comes to trans issues, when it comes to being in women's spaces, whether that be the bathrooms or women's sports and everything else? How you guys may feel about me being a man, whether or not it's my place to speak on some of these things. But only one person voted, and that person said they ain't sure. So that it is what it is. We're gonna move on, okay? But man, so I got a couple random thoughts, man. I got a couple random thoughts before we get into damn, we 24 minutes into the shit and I ain't even like gotten into the real shit. But I got some stuff I was thinking about, right? So one of the first things I was thinking about, man, you know, one of the things about social media is that like it makes people behave differently. Right. A lot of us are behaving differently when we get on social media. Some of us are acting as though we're all brands. Some of us are acting as if, you know, we want to be celebrities and all this other things. But and one of the things that has made me think about this is the fact that so many of my friends have now become digital creators. Right. And I'm going to need you digital creator ass niggas to start actually creating some goddamn content.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
I done known you since third grade, dog. I ain't a fucking follower, nigga. You my friend. Right? I ain't a fucking follower, my nigga. You my friend, nigga. I done known you since you was eating boogers and shit in Miss Smith class. Like, don't do me like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to make me out like I'm just like some follower or some shit, nigga. No, I'm not your follower, nigga. I know you, nigga. I know you was getting D's and fucking mad, bro. It's cool. It's cool. I ain't gonna tell nobody. It's cool. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna be a digital creator, how about you actually be out here digitally creating some shit? You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of y'all out here becoming digital creators because y'all think y'all about to monetize y'all boring ass lives. And I'm here to tell you, it ain't gonna happen, bro. Hey man, you ain't about to monetize the fact that you got to ride the bus to work. Or you ain't about to monetize the fact that it's taking, you got a work wife at the job, unless you're gonna make some skits out of it, right? Now, if you on here, you just gonna do some if you're gonna do the, hey, I got a work wife, yada yada yada, and you post a little stat about it, yeah, that's cool and all, but like, nah, nigga, we need some skits, nigga. We need some sound effects, nigga. We need some visuals. You need to you need to put in more work into your digital creation, my dog. So yeah, man, like all you digital creator ass niggas, I'm gonna need y'all to get out here and start digitally creating some shit instead of just hey, I'm gonna turn my regular ass page into this digital creator page. I'm gonna make it a professional page so I can get paid off Facebook, and you ain't doing shit, bruh. Come on, man, stop doing that. I can't believe how many of my friends is out here talking about they digital creators and ain't creating nothing, man. Go ahead and make some content. Shit get on my nerves. Crazy motherfuckers. One of the things I was thinking about. I shouldn't be so animated about it. Sorry. Another thing I was thinking about, man. So the McRib is back. Okay. And I am one of the people who enjoy a good McRib, man. I like the McRib, man. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was a kid and I was getting free lunch at school, man. We used to get McRibs at the school, bro. The McRibs was busting. McRib day at school and pizza day at school, nigga, top notch, bro. Like I will fuck up school pizza and McRib day at school to this day, nigga. Like and this is somebody who's had, some Wagyu, you know what I'm saying? I've had, lobster and filet mignon Oscar style, you know what I'm saying? I done had some shit, but I ain't too good to not eat the good old McRib, right? But here's the question that I have for y'all, man. Has any of y'all ever ordered a double McRib? Is that a thing? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out, is that a thing? Because, I ain't never been brave enough to ask them. You know what I'm saying? I was at the McDonald's the other day. I ordered 3 McRibs and a large fry and a large Sprite because, the Sprite got the Coke in it, right? Because the Sprite got the cocaine in it. Like the McDonald's Sprite, magnifique. You know what I'm saying? I had 3 McRibs and a large fry with a large Sprite. But I was wondering, hey, man, I don't know why, man. I don't know why I didn't ask. but I should have asked him, can I get a double McRib? Is that a thing? Like, next time I go to McDonald's. Or, if y'all beat me to it, write into the show. Let your boy know. Did you order the double McRib and then they fulfill your order? Because if they doing double McRibs, nigga, oh my God, nigga, I ain't never going against McDonald's again, nigga. Never going against McDonald's again, nigga. They come out with the McRib and you can get a double McRib, nigga. Oh my God, nigga. Straight up. I'm on it. Own it like white on popcorn, man. Straight up. That's what's up. That's what's up. One last thought that I had. And this isn't even necessarily a thought, man. There's something that just kind of happened to me last week, man. So for those of you who are not familiar, with your man Spann, I have been a Freemason for since I want to say it's been 22 years now. I think I joined, I might have been 21, 22 years old when I joined the Freemasons and whatnot. As you can see, I got some of my paraphernalia right here. You know what I'm saying? I am ancient, free, and accepted, and one of the things I was thinking about, well, not even so much thinking about, because like I said, it's been over 20 years since I became a Freemason. But, I just now got my invitation to become a part of the Illuminati. Nigga, they was like, yo, man, I got the email, bro. The email came this week, nigga. I was like, yo, wait, what the fuck? The Illuminati finally came through and emailed your boy. As a matter of fact, apparently, I get $25 million off of my very first my very first payment in the Illuminati. $25 million, bro.
That'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
So, the next time y'all see your boy, the next time y'all see your boy, surroundings might look a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because $25 million. I mean, just, who passed up the 25 million? You know what I'm saying? Nah, but that did happen. I did get an email about joining the Illuminati, and they said something about $25 million and shit. Oh man, I'm laughing because of the ridiculousness of it all, man, because there's so many people who are so gullible about what happens on the internet and what the Illuminati is. And like, hey man, I remember being like years ago, man, like when I was just when I was on YouTube and not even doing podcasting and stuff. A lot of my content was surrounding refuting so much of the misinformation and disinformation surrounding being a Freemason and stuff. So if you guys watch some of my older shit, I mean, like some of my stuff from like 10 or 15 years ago, man, you'll see some of that. It's still up. I never took any of that stuff down, and it's on the channel, man. So if you guys go back and watch some of that stuff, man, you'll see I got this what was it? It was like a video series called The Honest Truth. And it was basically debunking people like the Forerunner 777, for those of you who are familiar with that guy. And, stuff like that, man. But, yeah, man, the Illuminati sent your boy Spann. The Illuminati sent your boy Spann an email. And apparently, if I join up, $25 million, man. So, yeah, we got that going on. But those are my random thoughts, man. Let's get into what we got going on, man, in the world. Now, our first story, man, has to do with one Drake, man. And Drake has decided to sue his record company because of the popularity of the They Not Like Us song, man. And I never thought I would see the day where a rap beef turned legal to the point where a nigga was like, hey man, I gotta call my lawyers on this shit here. As a matter of fact, I really don't like this shit at all.
Oh man, hey.
Yeah, so we get this story here. Let me pull this up. Cause yeah, man, this is wild, man. We get the story here. This comes out of Billboard, and Billboard says Drake has initiated legal action against Universal Music Group and Spotify over allegations that the two companies conspired to artificially inflate the popularity of Kendrick Lamar's "Not Like Us." In a filing Monday on November 25th in Manhattan court, Drake's Frozen Moments LLC accused Universal Music Group of launching an illegal scheme involving bots, payola, and other methods to pump up Lamar's song, a track that savagely attacked Drake amid an ongoing feud between the two stars. UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices, according to Drake's company, according to Drake's company. Instead, it launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the streaming services and airwaves. Drake's attorneys accused UMG of violating the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, the federal RICO. This nigga went RICO. The RICO statute, often used in criminal cases against organized crime. They also allege deceptive business practices and false advertising under New York state law. The court filings are a remarkable twist in a high-profile beef between the two stars, which saw Drake and Kendrick exchanging stinging diss tracks over a period of months earlier this year. That such a dispute would spill into business litigation seemed almost unthinkable in the world of hip-hop. As a matter of fact, it reminds me of a situation something like this.
That is not gangster. That's very not gangster. Man, I can't believe this. You a fraud.
What's done is done. Let's be solution oriented.
Yo, man, I never thought we'd see today. I never thought we'd see today where a rap beef would result in someone going to the laws, going to sue the record companies for the song that is dissing them being as popular as it is. And here's the thing, right? So Drake, I think Drake is operating under the auspices of thinking that like people don't really like it. Like he doesn't believe that people don't like him to this degree, or he doesn't believe that people can come to dislike him to this degree. I'm here to tell you right now, bro, like doing this shit right here, nigga, I don't know if Drake ever recovers from this, bruh. Like, real talk, I don't think he ever recovers from this. Like, there's gonna be a whole lot of people within the hip hop community like, hey, nigga, if I dish you, nigga, you about to go to the laws, nigga. If I drop some bars on you, nigga, you about to go get your lawyer, nigga. Like, what part of the game is that? What part of the game has this ever been? And so, like, you know, there's some people who are out here and they're like, yo, man, you know, I mean, you do got a point, man. The man called him a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's basically libel, you know what I'm saying? Or that's defamation of character to allege that man was a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, like, you know how much foul shit has been said over wax because two niggas was going at each other over wax, man? Like, real talk. I mean, are we like, I mean, even in this beef, like Drake alleges that, you know, Kendrick Lamar was whooping on his old lady. You know what I'm saying? That means that Kendrick Lamar is guilty of domestic abuse. Does Kendrick Lamar then go to the laws and say, hey, this man is besmirching my character and my name, and I should go to the laws and say, I didn't never do this? Like, you ain't heard Kendrick do this at all, bro. Like, are we today does DJ Quick, you know, go, you know, or better yet, like, does MC8 go to the laws and say, hey, man, you know, DJ Quick got on wax and said, you know, he about to break it down for this bitch and the bitch was allegedly me and shit. You know, I need to sue this nigga. Like, does that happen? You know what I'm saying? Does Ice Cube, or better yet, does the niggas on NWA, do they really sue this nigga and like for alleging that they might have got fucked out of their money with, you know, in like Raw and shit? Like, is that something that happens? Like, we've never seen this in hip hop, man. And so, like, for Drake to come out and like, hey, man, I'm gonna go to the laws, man. I'm gonna get my lawyers and say that this song is artificially being pumped up. Hey, man, I hate to tell you, bro. Like, when they said, when Kendrick talking about this is what the culture is feeling, and then you see him do like a little pop-up show in LA, and all the motherfuckers in LA are just out there enjoying the fuck out of that song. As a matter of fact, a nigga that you had like a really good relationship with, that being DeMar DeRozan, popping out, not only being at the concert, but being in the videos and shit too, and now you mad at him for being there because he used to play for Toronto and shit like that. Like, hey, you gotta eat that. He from there. They ain't making that shit up. They not making that up, bruh. So like Drake out here, like when shit, man, you basically confirming everything Kendrick said about you right now. When he said they not like us, you not like us, this is something that like niggas that are like us wouldn't do. We wouldn't be doing this. Nobody of hip hop will be doing this. You are the only motherfucker who is so like, you went litigious on niggas about a rap beef. Nigga, who does that? That's just Come on, man.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. No wonder you get D's and everything.
Right now, there are OGs in hip hop looking at Drake and they just looking at this nigga like,
makes me sick, motherfucker, how far we done fell.
look, like real talk, bro. So the fact that Drake is out here going the litigious route, doing the Donald Trump shit, the bitch shit that Donald Trump would do. Hey man, yeah, not like us, man, not like us. And it's sad, bro. It's sad. Now I'm gonna read a little bit more from this article. It says Drake's attorneys accused UMG of violating the racketeer influence. Oh, I read that part. It says it represents a stunning rift between Drake and UMG, where the star has spent his entire career. First through signing a deal with Lil Wayne's Young Money imprint, which was distributed by Republic Records, and then signing directly to Republic. Lamar, meanwhile, has also spent his entire career associated with UMG. First through TDE imprint, which was distributed by Interscope, and more recently through his own company, PG Lang, which he licenses through Interscope. Now, here's the other part that I think is very interesting about this: is that let's entertain this as if what Drake is saying is true, right? That Universal Music Group has been artificially using algorithms and payola and everything else to artificially pump up this song and everything else, right? Do you want us to therefore believe that they never use this to your benefit?
Who are these niggas? We need to stay away from these niggas.
We need to stay away from these niggas that are lying. Do you want us to believe that they've never done this on your behalf? And if they've done this on your behalf, how dare you nigga come out and then try to sue them for doing some shit like for someone else? Although you you on the business end of this shit, I get it. But like, if you've been accused, like if you've also benefited from this sort of practice, I don't know if it's a smart thing to like go ahead and sue the company that you claim are doing this against you at this particular moment, when it can come out that they've also artificially maybe boosted your shit as well. Not exactly the smartest thing in the world to do, man. And so, yeah, man, fuck. To this, I just got, you lost, man. I don't know if Drake ever comes back from this, man. I don't know if Drake ever comes back from this. This is some sucker shit, bro. This is suckerific to the highest of suckerificness. Like this is bad, bro. This is terrible. This is unprecedented corniness right here, man. Real talk. But yeah, man, Drake is suing behind a rap beef. That is the most suckerific shit I have ever seen in the history of hip hop, man. I don't know if I don't even know a motherfucker like Jay Prince can save him from some shit like this. Like, nigga, what are you doing? I know is Jay Prince talking to you right now? Like, cause Jay Prince don't do no shit like this. Like, Jay Prince ready to like handle shit in the streets. Like, is Jay Prince hollering? Is anybody from like Rap A Lot hollering at you like, hey, Drake, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Because Jay Prince used to like do like the long ass, slow ass intro on the Rap A Lot albums, the intro and the outro and everything else, man. Hey, man, I'm gonna need Jay Prince to come holler at this boy, man. He gotta come holler at this boy, because like real talk, man, this is career ending type shit, bro. I don't think Drake will ever be taken seriously in hip hop ever fucking again behind this sort of shit right here, bro. Real talk. We got one comment here in the chat room, man. My man. Jay Fool is in here. He says, if people had any integrity, Drake's rap career would be. I think it is, man. I think it is. I don't know if he can recover from this. I really don't think Drake can recover from this. If he recovers from this, then that just lets us know this is when we know this is when we find out if hip hop is dead or not. Right? This is what we've had like fits and starts and shit where some of the OGs like, yeah, hip hop is dead. I think Nas even came out with an album some years ago, Hip Hop is Dead. I don't know, man. Like Nas might have been 20 years too early. You know what I'm saying? 20 years too early. But like this shit right here, nigga. Oh my God. This is the corniest shit. Jesus Christ. My little sister is a Drake fan too, and I saw she was talking about this shit. I said, "Oh no, baby, not you, not Drake." She was like, "I can't get with Kendrick, big bro." And I'm like, "No, baby, no. We can't be out here rooting for lames, man. We can't be doing that." But yeah, man, it is what it is, man. I can't believe Drake did that shit, man. Got to be more careful. Now, another story that we got here to talk about, man. So apparently, influencers out here like committing crimes and telling on themselves and shit. And I can't understand why. So apparently there was this the social media influencer. She got arrested for filming herself getting ready to steal from a store using fake barcodes, says the goddamn police. And
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
Okay, so this isn't the video to that. I thought there was video to this, but they got a whole other fucking video attached to this. So let me go ahead and read from this article here. We get this from ABC News. It says that a 22-year-old social media influencer on TikTok with nearly 300,000 followers has been arrested after using fake barcodes to steal from Target and filming herself getting ready before the alleged theft, police say. So the Cape Coral Police Department in Florida responded to a Target branch located at 1890 Northeast Pine Island Road in Cape Coral last Wednesday regarding a past retail theft that occurred on October 30th, according to a statement from the Cape Coral Police Department. Loss prevention at Target stated that on October 30th, an unknown female entered the store and selected items listed for sale. Once at the self-checkout register, the female suspect did not scan the items' barcodes, instead scanning a false barcode with cheaper prices. In total, 16 items of miscellaneous household goods and clothing were stolen with a total retail value of $500.32, which is verified by officers via Target security cameras. In an attempt to identify the suspect through public assistance, the Cape Coral Police Department's Facebook and Instagram accounts posted the female's picture describing her as appearing to be approximately 20 to 35 years old. Now, I'm going to say this right here, right now, bro. There isn't anything approximate about 20 to 35 years old. There's nothing. Oh, so they just gonna. Oh, so y'all just gonna play ads on my shit, huh? Fuck y'all. But but there's nothing approximate about 20 to 35 years old. That is a 15-year like age limit. And yeah, you look like some of us look very different at 35 than we did at 20. I'm just saying, especially white folks. You know, just saying, y'all know. But no, they said approximately 20 to 35 years old. She had long black hair and was wearing a tan shirt, tan pants, and glasses. An anonymous caller who saw the post on social media subsequently contacted the police and gave the possible identification for the suspect as Marlena Valles and informed them of her social media profiles. Officers then found Marlena's TikTok account, which documents her getting ready on October 30th, 2024 in the same outfit and glasses and going to Target. Marlena's documents herself picking out items inside the store and placing them in her car after exiting the store. Marlena appears to be a content creator with almost 300,000 followers. Valles has been arrested and taken to the Lee County Jail and charged with petty theft of less than $750. The investigation is currently ongoing. And like, real talk, you filmed yourself committing crimes. And
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
What?
Fuck!
I'm gonna need those of you who have I know there's a lot of folk who have grown up on social media, who have grown up on the idea of being a content creator, who think that documenting their lives mean that like it's almost on some Truman Show shit where they think that every banal thing that happens in their life needs to be documented and it needs to be like shown to these strangers on the internet, right? If you're gonna be out here committing crimes, you might want to put the fucking phone down. I'm just saying. Color me an old nigga. You know what I'm saying? I was born like, 45 years ago, 44 years ago. Like, it was a different time when I was coming up. We didn't have phones and shit where we was documenting all the fucked up shit we was doing. As a matter of fact, if a nigga did want to record us doing some fucked up shit, we probably wanted to whoop his ass. We never wanted nobody out here with the video camera while we was doing the fuck shit. Y'all out here telling on y'all selves. I ain't never seen so many self-snitches in all my life, bro. Like this, I've never seen this. So many self-snitches. Like y'all niggas out here committing felonies, committing misdemeanors, and y'all documented it for the cops ain't got shit to do, man. They're like, hey man, just go pull this motherfucker. So I'm sure they talked. They done marked up all their damn haul and everything. They done robbed this nigga and took $5,000. Hey nigga, look what I got off this nigga, man. Check it out, nigga. We out here getting to it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all out here telling on y'all selves, B. It ain't a good look, man. It ain't a good look. But like the other part, like she got 300,000 followers, man. Now, if you were a follower of this young lady, are y'all following her to figure out whether or not, you know, you can get away with the scams? Are y'all following her to figure out whether or not this is something that you could, you know, like, is she giving y'all tips on how to commit crimes? Like, what is the draw to her channel? You know, that's kind of what I want to know. What is the draw to her TikTok? Hey, I'm about to go in here and Target to start stealing. Let me show you how. You know what I'm saying? Is that the draw? Because if that's the draw, y'all, I would hope y'all would be smart enough to like, I don't know if I really want to do this shit. I hope y'all would be smart in that way. But nah, man. The youngest is like y'all like telling on yourselves. I don't get it, man. I guess I'm an OG now, man. I am legitimately unk status and shit out here. So I guess I would not understand. But yeah. All that being said, the OGs are OGs because we know some shit. We got here for a reason. We didn't get here by chance, a lot of us. Some of us got lucky. Some of us got here by, wits and shit like that. But youngins, stop telling on yourselves. Stop documenting yourselves committing crimes. This has been a public service announcement from Mr. Spann. All right. So we got that going on. Now, another story here that we got going on, man. And I think this here actually is a little bit more, it's a little bit more serious, right? Because I think this actually has to do with why I think this ties into how we get into some of our political results and everything else, right? But one of the things that I read over the course of this week, though, and I really didn't believe this to be true at first, but apparently Americans, or better yet, the majority of Americans, 54% of Americans are actually reading at a 6th grade or below level across the country. MAGA! We get this from the National Literacy Institute. And this, their literacy statistics are from 2022 to 2023. And it says, illiteracy has become such a serious problem in our country that 130 million adults are now unable to read a simple story to their children. 21% of adults in the U.S. are illiterate in 2022. 54% of adults have illiteracy below 6th grade level. 45 million are functionally illiterate and read below a 5th grade level. 44% of the American adults do not read a book in a year. The top 3 states for the highest child literacy rates are Massachusetts, Maryland, and New Hampshire in that order. And the bottom 3 states for child literacy rates were Louisiana, Mississippi, and New Mexico. Let's see, literacy data and its impact on the economy. It says 3 out of 4 people on welfare can't read. 20% of Americans read below the level needed to earn a living wage. 50% of the unemployed between the ages of 16 and 21 cannot read well enough to be considered functionally literate. Between 46 and 51% of American adults have an income well below the poverty level because of their inability to read. Illiteracy costs American taxpayers an estimated $20 billion each year, and school dropouts cost our nation $240 billion in social service expenditures and lost tax revenues. Now, I want to tie this into something that I've been talking about for a while now, right? I think the last time I might even been on the mic with y'all, man, I was talking about how, the fact that when Republicans talk about how they want to get rid of the Department of Education and they want to send it back to the states and all this other shit, right? My contention has always been that a government that seeks to have an uneducated populace understands that an uneducated populace is a controllable populace, because, you know, when your populace doesn't really know much and they can't read that great, you can kind of pull off whatever the fuck it is you want on them, and they don't really have the wherewithal or the knowledge base to push back on what it is that you're pushing, right? So when you see Donald Trump pushing for tariffs and acting as though tariffs is going to be what saves America and all this other shit, and you know, he wins the majority of the votes here in the United States of America. When you see that he wins on that, and then you understand that 54% of the U.S. population can't read beyond the 6th grade level, then it starts clicking. It starts making sense that the people don't really know and aren't paying attention to what's really happening to them and the disadvantages of what's happening to them when they vote against their own interests, because they don't understand that that's exactly what it is that they're doing, right? So he can come out here and say, yeah, we're gonna raise the price. We're gonna raise the tariffs on Mexico, and we're gonna raise the tariffs on California. I mean, not California, but on Canada, and we're gonna raise those up. And because we're gonna raise up the tariffs, that's gonna drop the imports of fentanyl into the United States of America, which is the stupidest shit whatsoever.
Shut up! Shut the fuck up!
Damn.
Enough. Boy, I've been sick to my fucking stomach watching you imbeciles type things. Stop typing. You niggas are stupid.
If somebody told you that raising tariffs is going to stop drugs from coming across the motherfucking border, I got bridges to sell you, not even just in Detroit, but in New York, in Chicago, in California, in Florida. I got bridges all across this motherfucking nation, baby. Come holler at your boy. Okay? But the fact that people don't even understand what tariffs do, right, is that it's basically a national sales tax. It's a national sales tax. So all of those imports that he said that, like, China's going to pay the tax, and Canada's going to pay the tax, and Mexico's going to pay the tax, and Italy's going to pay the tax, wherever that shit's coming from, they going to pay the tax. Nah, B, that ain't how that work. We pay the tax. So say, for instance, if you got a small business, you got a small business, you sell t-shirts, and normally you sell your t-shirts for about $10, right? Then Trump decides he's going to, and because you're getting your t-shirts from overseas, you know, Trump decides he's going to employ a 20% tariff on your shirts, right? So in order for you to get your shirts, you can't necessarily sell them boys at $10 no more. I mean, you could, but you're going to lose money. So what you end up doing is, because the price of the shirts then went up, you end up raising prices to cover the cost of the price of the shirts going up. So those shirts that you used to sell for $10 to cover the cost of that 20% tariff, you might end up selling those shirts for $12. Now, the companies that sent you those shirts didn't pay extra nothing. You paid extra something, and then you passed on that extra to your customers. That's how tariffs work. So there's a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump who think that, hey, I voted for Donald Trump because, what's the shit? Inflation. Inflation been kicking my ass, and we need the prices of this shit to come down. If he does institute these tariffs, the prices of some of these things are not going to come down. As a matter of fact, they're going to rise, because the companies who are importing this stuff has to pass on those extra costs onto their consumers. That is a sales tax. But it makes sense when you look at the fact that 54% of the American populace are reading at or below a 6th grade level, how they would not necessarily be able to understand exactly what a tariff is and what it will do and how it will affect them going forward. Right? And so I guess the question that I would ask anybody now is like, yo, is it too late? Is it too late for us to do anything about the education gap? Right? Where we know that Republicans have been advocating for less government intervention when it comes to how our education is being distributed across America, but also how they are trying to take out certain topics, how they're trying to take out certain subjects from the schools, right? They don't want your kids to learn about civics. They don't want your kids to learn about actual African American history. They don't want your kids to learn about American history in its truest sense, right? So much so that not even just the proposed eradication of the Department of Education, but also taking funding away from school districts that do teach about the true history of America, because America doesn't look good in all of its history. They don't want your kids to learn about that. And some of these parents don't want their kids to learn about that because some of the grandparents don't look good in that history either. Right? So when you have an uneducated populace, it's very much easy to pull the wool over their eyes so that you can get away with doing whatever the fuck it is you want to do to them going forward. This is why they don't want, why they call Black History CRT. They got to give it a different name and make people and vilify it to make people think that this is something bad and you don't want to have anything to do with this. And this is why there is the push to get rid of affirmative action. This is why there is the push to get rid of books out of the schools, and like certain books, not all of the books, but certain books. They want to get these books out of this. They don't want their children exposed to an alternative view of, or better yet, not even so much an alternative view, a minority view of how this nation came to be. We got some very great thinkers who are minority in their origin, but they got some goddamn very valid critiques of what this nation is and how it came to be. Right? I was lucky enough to go to a school where I was able to read people like Bell Hooks and Lerone Bennett and Toni Morrison and James Baldwin. I was able to read these folks when I was in high school. A lot of these kids may not necessarily be afforded that same luxury going forward, man. And so I think this right here, man, this particular stat right here, 54% of the American populace reads at or below a 6th grade level, is very telling about how we got here politically, but also how that might be useful for Republicans moving forward. Because an uneducated populace is a compliant populace, man. Real talk. Got another story here. Candice Owens done been banned out of another goddamn country. Congratulations! Yeah, man. So we get this story here. This comes out of the Associated Press. It says that the U.S. conservative political commentator Candice Owens was refused a visa to enter New Zealand for a speaking engagement because she has been banned from another country, immigration officials said Thursday. News of the ruling came weeks after neighboring Australia also rejected her visa request, citing remarks in which she denied Nazi medical experimentation on Jews in concentration camps during the World War II. Owens was scheduled to speak at a series of events in several Australian cities and in Auckland, New Zealand in February and March of next year. Tickets remain on sale, and there is no acknowledgement on the promoter's website that she has been refused entry to both countries. The commentator, who has more than 3 million followers on YouTube, is accused by her detractors of promoting conspiracy theories and anti-Semitism, and has ignited firestorms with her remarks opposing Black Lives Matter, feminism, vaccines, and immigration. In March, Owens said that she had parted ways with the Daily Wire, on which she had hosted an online talk show since 2021 after clashes with its founders over her remarks about Jews and her opposition to U.S. military support for Israel. She is widely criticized for comments in a YouTube video in July that minimized the Holocaust. Owens had promised Australian and New Zealand audiences a discussion of free speech and her Christian faith when she announced the speaking tour in August. Now, I'm going to say this because, this is something that I've said on the show before. I would say this on the show again. Freedom of speech is the freedom to say what you want to say without being persecuted by your government. Okay? By your government. It is not freedom from people not wanting to hear you. It is not freedom from institutions saying, hey, we don't want your particular speech here. It is not freedom from you being let go from an employer. If an employer decides like, yo, man, your rhetoric is a bit much for us. And yo, like I think, like, again, on the right, a lot of them confuse freedom of speech with freedom from consequences. And so, of course, Candice Owens would say, hey, they're violating my freedom of speech. Unfortunately, for someone like a Candice Owens, you are not a citizen of Australia, nor are you a citizen of New Zealand. They don't owe you a goddamn thing. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering at a certain point, like, what happens if you get more like rejected like stamps on your passport than you do like accepted? Like, yeah, we gonna let you through. Like at a certain point, like does like, you know, the amount of like rejections like kind of count toward like I mean, shit, she got about 5 or 6 rejections on this motherfucker. Do we need to let this motherfucker in our country too? Like, I wonder if that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? She said, but Australian officials banned her from the country in October, with Immigration Minister Tony Burke telling reporters that Owens has the capacity to incite discord in almost every direction, citing her remarks about the Holocaust and about Muslims. Australia's national interest is best served when Candice Owens is somewhere else. New Zealand officials did not refer to Owens' political views in a statement on Thursday. She was refused an entertainer's work permit for New Zealand on the ground that visas legally cannot be granted to those who have been excluded from another country. So I guess that answers my fucking question. If you get rejected somewhere else, that shit might carry on to other places. The Australia-based promoter Rockman said did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. So yeah, man, Candice Owens out here racking up rejections on her passport across the world, man. I guess I mean, I guess on the right, man, they probably look at that sort of shit as a badge of honor, but I'm like, yo, man, like, damn, that's fucked up if you don't want a nigga in your country, bro. They like, nah, man, keep that bullshit over there where you at. We don't want the toxicity over here, man. So yeah, we got that going on, man. Another thing that we got here that I kind of wanted to talk to, and it kind of goes back into some of the things that I said before here on the show. You know, one of the things we've learned over the course of this election is that, you know, more and more people are getting the news, not from necessarily the traditional news outlets. You know, people aren't necessarily going to CBS. They're not going to NBC. They're not going to CNN. They're not going to Fox News. They're not going to MSNBC or what have you. A lot of people are getting the news from influencers. Some like myself. Some like, you know, the Young Turks. Some like the Midas Touch. Some like, you know, shit. What's some right wing, the Daily Wire, all these other different, like, you know, online platforms, man. People are getting the news in a bunch of different ways. Some people are getting the news from TikTok. Some people are getting the news from, unfortunately, shit like fucking My Expert Opinion, you know, podcasts and things like that, right? And one of the things that we talked about, one of the things I talked about, you know, in the course of the last couple of weeks, man, was that, like, because the barrier of entry for getting on these microphones and having a platform and having a channel and everything else, because the barrier of entry is low, oftentimes the quality of the information that a lot of people are getting is also low, right? I said that a couple weeks ago, and I was proven right. I was proven right by this particular article. So we get this story here. This comes out of CNN. And it says that the majority of social media influencers don't verify their information before sharing it, a study finds. Now, mind you, I talked about this, like I said, a couple weeks ago. We get the story here. This comes out of CNN. Also, I make sure when I do this shit here, I tell y'all where I'm getting the shit from. So if you like the source or not, you know exactly where I'm coming from when I got this particular, wherever I get my information from, I make sure you guys know where I got it from. Okay, that's very big. I'm keen on keeping that practice open. But it says a majority of social media influencers don't verify information before sharing it with their audiences. A study published Tuesday by the UN Scientific and Cultural Arm found underscoring concerns that some of the biggest online figures can uncritically spread misleading claims. According to the UNESCO study, 62% of surveyed creators said that they don't vet the accuracy of content before sharing it with their followers. Roughly 1/3 of influencers said they shared information without checking its validity if it originated from a source that they trusted. trusted, while 37% said that they verified information with a fact-checking site before circulation. The study, which surveyed 500 digital content creators across 45 countries and territories in August and September 2024, included creators with more than 1,000 followers. While only 12% of the surveyed influencers said they produce content content about current affairs and politics and the economy, UNESCO warned that the low prevalence of fact-checking highlights their vulnerability to misinformation, which can have a far-reaching consequence for public discourse and trust in media. Rather than verifying information, more than 4 in 10 influencers said they evaluated a source's credibility based on popularity, the number of likes and views it had received, while 1 in 5 said trusted friends and experts were the most common factors in determining an online source's credibility. Only 17% said documentation and evidence was the top factor in gauging credibility. I'll be goddamn if I haven't been talking about that. We just talked about that because so many people rely on online sources, and we talked about the popularity of the source. This is why I thought when we were talking about what was the fucking show, My Expert Opinion, why I was talking about, like, those dudes have 1 million fucking subscribers on YouTube, and those dudes have a host who is prone to listening to misinformation and disinformation and disseminating that bullshit to his audience. 1 million people subscribe to that show. And if he's susceptible to listening to bullshit and misinformation and disinformation, somehow, some way, the audience is susceptible to listening to that because, again, the credibility comes from the popularity, right? Their credibility comes from their popularity, in much the same way that oftentimes you've heard this, man, where, like, yo, people will make all kinds of excuses and they will make all kinds of excuses. They will make all kinds of they will give all kinds of grace to anything so long as it makes money, right? So you can have, like, let's just use hip hop as an example. You could have a terrible fucking rapper like Soulja Boy, right? Soulja Boy is a terrible fucking rapper, but because people had made it to where Soulja Boy could be financially viable, suddenly any critique of Soulja Boy falls on deaf ears because Soulja Boy is making people money, despite the fact that the quality of the music is shit. The same thing follows here. The platform has popularity. And if the platform has popularity, oftentimes, even though the information can be shit, because the platform has popularity, it's been given validity, despite the fact that it doesn't deserve it. This has been the crux of the issue when it comes to what's happening here in America right now politically. Because if your popular influencers can't be bothered with vetting the information that they are putting across their platforms, then those people who are further less inclined to figure out whether or not this information is true or not are being fed this bullshit, and it goes further. That's just the reality of the situation, right? We've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. We got a couple comments here. My man Jay Full says, he says, one of my favorite things about your show is that you always say it where you got whatever news you're sharing. Bro, I want, because I want not only that, because there's sometimes where I'm reading, I've heard about some stuff, and, like, I'm looking for sources of where that shit came from. And sometimes the only source of where it is like, yo, it might be some shit, like, it might be Baller Alert. It might be some fucking hip hop website I've never heard of. And I always tell y'all, take this shit with a grain of salt. But this is what they're saying on this particular website, right? Stop. Okay, fucking phone. But, like, this is what I always make sure that I tell y'all where I'm getting my shit from, man. Because I want y'all to understand that, like, even if some of the shit that you may hear here might be coming from somewhat questionable, hey, I heard it from here, take from it what you will. But I'm never going to tell y'all some shit and, like, not, and, like, I think the quality of the source matters. I'm not a journalist. I am a fucking pipe fitter. Right? But I think the quality of the information matters. And if we have content creators who can't be bothered with trying to figure out whether or not if they on a platform talking some bullshit or whether they're talking some real shit, that won't be me. That won't be me. So I appreciate you, brother, for acknowledging that, man. I really do. Because that's like, this is the issue. This is how we end up with so much shit flying past and there's so much misinformation. There's so much misinformation and disinformation being meted out, man. Where, like, I talked about this, man. It's like, it's a deluge, man. It's like a fire hose of misinformation and disinformation. And for those of us who want to be out here talking about the real shit and talking about the truth, oftentimes it's so much bullshit, you can't combat all of the bullshit people are being fed. Right? So, you know, it's exhausting, but especially going into these next 4 years, I think it's going to be incumbent and important amongst those of us who are and consider ourselves content creators, who consider ourselves voices, who consider ourselves people who want to inform the folk. Hey, man, like, this is a job. Despite the fact that I don't get paid for this shit. I do this because I love it. But this is the job. You got to get out here, man, and tell the truth to the folk. And so, yeah, man, it doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me whatsoever that so many content creators don't vet the information that they're coming across, man. Says only 17% of said documentation and evidence was a top factor engaging credibility. The prevalent lack of rigorous critical evaluation of information highlights an urgent need to enhance creators' media and information literacy skills. Now, again, we just talked about 54% of Americans are reading at a 5th or a 6th grade level and below. How many of those folks are also now content creators? MAGA! How many of those folks are out here like, yo, I'm just out here. Hey, it's about the good time. And there's a place for that. I ain't mad at those folks who are out here doing that. There's a place for that. But when it comes to getting into some of this like more substantial news and information and political stuff and like, you know, like even some of the more pop culture stuff, man, and understanding how the pop culture influences some of our political choices. It's important for us to know that when we get the information, we're getting information from reputable sources. We're getting information from people who care whether or not the shit is the truth or not. And oftentimes, man, like it's comment sections. It's just comment sections going up and down, man. But yeah, man, that's wild, man. Like social media influencers are not out here vetting the information that they are promoting to the people, and that is a problem. That is a problem, man. Going forward, man, we got to be vigilant about that going forward, man. Real talk. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yeah, we got this other story here. I saw this over the course of the week, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I'm a little tired of talking about. I'm a little tired of talking about this, but this sort of shit keeps happening. But before I get to that, let me see what my man Jay Full is talking about here right now. Jay Full says, we know the content creators can't read because every popular meme has a typo.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
My man.
No wonder you get D's and everything.
They've been getting D's and everything, man. I feel you. But it says every popular meme has a typo. They think the red underline on their phone means the word is special. No, that mean you misspelled that shit, bitch. But man, yeah, real talk, man. That is so true. That is so fucking true. But no, man, real talk. This next story, man, is one of those things, man, where I actually wish that I didn't have to talk about this sort of shit, but it keeps happening, bro, and it's going. I think it's just I think it's just a symptom of the times, man, where again, Republicans and conservatives have been able to game the media to thinking that this is a much more widespread issue than it really is. And so we end up having to talk about this thing as though this is something that is widespread, that is something that has affected millions of girls and all these other things. But we're talking about a trans athlete playing in college sports, right? And so this time we're talking about college girls, college women's volleyball. All right. So we got a couple different videos here because this came up a couple times over the course of this week. I actually saw this story here on CNN earlier today, but I get this story here. This comes out of KTUV, and I believe this is California. There's a video attached to this. So let me go ahead and pull this video up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Hold on just a second while I do that. Let's see. Here we go. And let's see what's happening with the San Jose State volleyball player on why she outed her transgender teammate. So this is what's happening here. So let's see what's going on.
New at 10, it's been a season filled with controversy for the San Jose State University women's volleyball program over a transgender teammate. The issue has garnered national attention.
Just last week, a class action lawsuit was filed against the university and the NCAA, calling for transgender women to be banned from college sports.
A team captain who joined the lawsuit and the only one to speak publicly about the issue, Brooke Slusser, agreed to sit down with KTVU's Bailey O'Carroll to discuss her position.
I feel like there's so many emotions that go into all of it, like anger.
I can look at this girl. She voted for Trump.
Sadness, like Trump. Regret, just like of all schools for me to end up at, why this one?
Brooke Slusser, a co-captain on the San Jose State women's volleyball team, is in her senior year, and she's getting more attention for what she's doing off the court than her performance on it, but she says she wouldn't change that. The Spartans' season has been overshadowed by controversy surrounding a transgender teammate who Slusser says she once lived with and called a friend.
I think.
So she was your friend? She was your fucking friend? Nigga! Bro, with friends like these, nigga. With friends like these, oh my, she was your friend? Come on, man. Come on.
All of me and my roommates were pretty good friends the whole time.
But Slusser says the two have never had a conversation about her teammate being transgender. Instead, she referred to it as the elephant in the room and says the university told her and other teammates not to bring it up.
I just don't think it's right in women's sports. It has nothing to do with the way someone wants to live their life day to day. That's not an issue. I think live the way you want to live.
So it has nothing to do. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that I think a lot of bigots don't necessarily understand. You will say that this doesn't have anything to do with how you want to live your life. It just has something to do with, fairness and all these other things. And, that person being a part of the volleyball team was like them, living their life. And now you're, encroaching upon how they're trying to live their life as a volleyball player, a college volleyball player. Like, you're saying that you don't have any problem with how they're living their life, while at the same time presenting an obstacle with how they're living their lives. It's the cognitive dissonance that is astounding to me to kind of witness how they do this. Like, they all think they're being tolerant when they're not. They're not being tolerant, because right now you are coming against a quote unquote friend to boycott volleyball because you've alleged that your friend is transgender, right? And you say you don't have any problem with how they're living their lives when being a part of that volleyball team is how they've been living their life. Come on, man. Make it make sense.
But just when it comes to the fairness and safety of women playing, there's a reason that there's two different divisions for men and women.
In a class action lawsuit filed last week, Slusser claims her rights and safety have been jeopardized by sharing a court with her transgender teammate. When asked about how and why she felt unsafe, Slusser said,
"The height that the person can jump is so much higher, and honestly higher for a man. It's insane. And then the strength behind the ball when they're swinging is also just so much more powerful."
But her transgender teammate's stats don't appear to give the Spartans a dramatic upper hand.
What?
The San Jose State women's volleyball team is ranked 119th nationally, but not.
Wait. So they got this. Okay. So again, they got this alleged trans athlete on their team, the trans athlete is overpowering everybody, allegedly, overpowering everybody. The power of their strikes is crazy. The ability to jump is crazy and all this other stuff, right? But they haven't been able to lift this team from 119th in the whole fucking nation.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Like, the way that y'all talking about this particular athlete, you would have thought that it was game changing. They ain't changing a motherfucking thing. Y'all still sorry. Your team is still sorry. Come on, man.
Nonetheless, Slessor claims safety is one of her top concerns.
There's many times.
Also, I would say this. As a former athlete, right? I remember when I was playing basketball. I was on the Olive Harvey Middle College basketball team in high school, right? Olive Harvey Middle College was a high school on a city college campus in Chicago. Okay. Oftentimes, the women's basketball team, the Olive Harvey women's college basketball team would practice against us, right? The Olive Harvey Middle College high school boys team, right? Now, they're only like a year apart, if that, from us, right? But they were practicing against us, oftentimes to get them acclimated to, or better yet, not even so much acclimated, but like the logic behind it was, hey, practicing against these young men will get you stronger, will get you used to the physicality of the game. So when you do go against these girls, you'll be a little bit more physically adapted, being on the block, trying to block somebody out, so trying to get rebounds and everything. When it comes to defense, like you'll be a little bit more hands-on and a little bit more physical when it comes to the defense, because they told us to go at them the same way we'd be going at the niggas when we was playing the college team, right? When we would be playing the college guys, right? So we would play against, at my high school, we was playing against the women's college team and the men's college team, the junior college team at the time, right? That was what we did. So the idea of practicing, like the whole concept of practicing against men and competing against men isn't foreign. This is something that has been done for years. But the idea that one transgender athlete being a part of the team suddenly makes the idea, suddenly makes the competition of the game somehow unsafe for the women in the game. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. And to any competitor, they would know that's bullshit.
Times for multiple people all the time that we're having to try and dodge the balls that are coming straight at our face. And I've been hit multiple times by the balls, and I've had bruising on my legs just from trying to dodge it, and it catches my thigh, and I've had a bruise on my thigh for weeks.
Bumps, bruises, and minor injuries are common in Division I volleyball, as is practicing against men. But when pressed, Slessor said she's never been injured to the point of coming off the court.
So what's her fucking point? What's her fucking point? I think this goes back into the whole idea of, like, we're in a culture war right now, and a lot of these Trump supporters are feeling more and more comfortable coming out with some of these bullshit, discriminatory, bigoted positions because of who won the presidency, bro. Just like we saw those racist Nazis coming out in Columbus, Ohio last week. They're feeling a lot more comfortable coming out. Because not only are they feeling more comfortable coming out, but also because Donald Trump won the popular vote this time. So they're really feeling comfortable about coming out. This is the reality of the situation, man.
In total, there are approximately 500,000 female athletes in the NCAA. Trans female athletes account for less than 50.
This is an important conversation.
Okay. And that goes back to a point that I made 1,000 times ago. Right? There are over 500,000 female women athletes in the NCAA, and 50 of them are of transgender, are transgender. So when people say, hey, why don't they just come up with their own division? Why don't we just we siphon them off into a whole other thing? There aren't enough of them for you to be able to do that. Right? There just simply aren't enough of them. Because of the 50, all of them ain't playing volleyball. all of them ain't playing football. All of them ain't playing softball. All of them aren't playing lacrosse. All of them are playing, like, there's so many different sports. All of them are in gymnastics. So there's not enough of them for you to create a whole other division for them to compete in. So this idea that, women's sports is about to be overrun is bullshit. Because again, I will go back to, y'all really think it's going to be a shit ton of dudes, of young men who decide, hey man, I suck at this sport, but I'm going to just go ahead and transition to a girl so I can go ahead and get this scholarship. That's not what's happening, man. That's not what's happening. But when you have a populace of folk, 54% of whom can't read past the 6th grade level, you can pass this shit off as legit. You could pass this shit off as if that's something that's really fucking happening and it's something that you really need to worry about. You could pass that off to them because they can't read past the bullshit. They can't see past the nuance. They can't see past the probabilities and all these other shit, right? So it's not hard, man. It's not hard to understand why we got where we got when it came to this, right? So we got another comment from a man, Jay Full. Jay Full says, these trans women don't even be dominated. These fools, listen, they not even dominated. I'm like, yo, man, they ranked 119th in the whole fucking country, bro. You think that if you had a trans athlete on the volleyball team and they had this overpowering influence on the whole fucking nation or on the whole fucking team, hey, man, San Jose State will be dominating women's volleyball. They are 119th, bruh. 119th in the nation. It don't make sense, man. It don't make sense. But this isn't the only video I believe I have on this particular issue. So let me pull this other one up because apparently this young lady only went to talk to Fox News. That was a Fox affiliate that we were playing before. I had another video, I believe. Where is it? Is this it? No, this isn't it. This is something else. This is something else. Okay. I guess I don't have it. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Because I think we talked about that shit enough. I like real talk. I know going forward for these next 4 years, we're gonna see a lot more stories. We're gonna see a lot more stories like this. They're gonna try to make trans athletes competing in women's sports a very big issue. It is one of the things that helped propel Donald Trump to the presidency, despite the fact that it is an issue that is affecting a very minute portion of the country, man. But again, people hate what they don't understand. And so if you don't necessarily have the wherewithal to try to seek understanding, for why people are the way that they are and how they came to be who they are, then yeah, this sort of thing will make it very easy for you to be an ignorant son of a bitch. Real talk. So we got that going on. Another story that we got going on, man. Let's see, I got a bunch of different shit here. Do I want to talk about that? Oh, fuck that story. Nah, yeah, fuck that. I don't want to talk about that. Here's what I do want to talk about. We're going to close the show on this here, right? Here's what I do want to talk about. I kind of want to know, why do like Donald Trump won the presidency this time? Like straight up, there's no argument about it from people who legitimately follow politics and everything else. Like, he legitimately won the popular vote. He legitimately won the electoral college. Donald Trump won. So why are his supporters still so mad? MAGA! I'm not understanding why his supporters still being so bitch made about the fact that they won. Y'all won. I'm not understanding why so many of them are so upset. And so one of the things I thought was very interesting, though, is a couple of these. It's a couple black dudes, right? It's a couple black dudes who are out here. They own that Trump train shit, and we're gonna talk about these niggas because I think these niggas they deserve talking about. I really do. I believe these niggas deserve talking about. So this first one here, we get this is a guy. this guy here, I'm gonna rewind that there. But this guy is a Trump supporter. And I remember the very first time I became aware of who this nigga was. He showed up on I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Jubilee channel on YouTube, but Jubilee often has they oftentimes they'll have these panels where they'll have like, you know, some conservative black folks debating liberal black folks, and then they'll have conservative Latinos debating you know, liberal Latinos and like, you know, that sort of thing. And then they'll have this shit they call middle ground, where like they'll have these prompts and they'll have conservatives and liberals argue about a certain topic, right? Well, the very first time I became aware of who this motherfucker was, he was on one of those Jubilee panels. Okay. This dude is a black Republican. He's also a homosexual. Okay. Not that that means anything to me. I don't give a fuck. Right. But he's a homosexual. He's black. And he's a Republican, right? That's how I became aware of who he was. Now, this dude has a TikTok channel. I believe his TikTok his TikTok followers, I think he has over like a 250,000 followers on his TikTok, right? And on his latest, on one of his latest TikToks, he had this thing where he's talking about he has no desire to he has no desire to unite with Kamala Harris supporters.
Who are these niggas? We need to stay away from these niggas.
I think the feeling is mutual. But I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can watch right on with your man Spann, and we gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. So let me pull this up. And let's see what this fuck niggas talk about. Check this out, y'all.
So I gotta tell you something. I gotta be completely honest. I don't want to unify with Kamala voters. I don't want to unify with people that voted for Kamala Harris, because these are the same people that call me all kinds of names on the internet. These are the same people that ended friendships. These are the same people that laugh when I go through things publicly for just basically being myself and stating who I am and what I believe. These are the people that call me a sellout or an Uncle Tom or a coon or all of that different stuff for being a black Republican. These are the gay people that call me a pick-me and all of these other things for being a gay person that voted for Trump.
So hold up. It ain't just the black folks that got problems with this nigga. The gays have problems with this nigga too. So I guess it's free for me to just... Yeah, I guess it's like we ain't the only ones who done clocked. Like, hey, bro, you on some bullshit. The gay folks is like, hey, you on some bullshit. We ain't fucking with you neither. Okay.
Excuse me if I have absolutely zero desire to be friends. I have zero desire to unify. I have zero desire to be even cordial with all of these horrific people. I am delighting in their tears. Ooh. I love how triggered they are. Ooh. I am absolutely over the moon that they are crying, that they are triggered, that they are experiencing everything that they're experiencing right now. And I reject any calls for unity. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to understand you. What I want you to realize is that your reign of terror is over.
I'm gonna just say this here right now.
Nigga, did you know that I can see you? Nigga, you right there. It's on your nose.
Nigga, we see you. We see you. And the reason why I say we see you, the reason why I say that, and I think it's very rich, is very rich, because he's talking about, I reject the calls for unity. I don't know any nigga in the world who did not vote for Donald Trump, who doesn't give a fuck about Donald Trump, who's calling for unity for anybody who voted for that piece of shit. I don't know nobody. Never, like, nigga, unity?
Not never.
Like, I don't know nobody who's calling for unity with you niggas. Like straight up. I don't. I ain't synced it yet. As a matter of fact, many of the people that I see are looking at you like, oh, okay, this is what y'all on? Bet. I hope y'all get everything y'all voted for. Right? As a matter of fact, the reason why it's so rich, for this nigga to be out here talking about, I don't want to be in community with you guys. I don't want to be friends with you guys. Despite the fact that none of us are actually calling for that, is the fact that, like, yo, man, it was just last year where this exact same nigga was being called all kinds of racist and homophobic slurs while he was at a Donald Trump event by Turning Point USA. So let me pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Hold on. Why isn't that loading up? Come on now. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, I see what this is. Okay. So what's happening right now is that what I believe is happening is that Elon Musk has stopped a lot of Twitter videos from being embedded into other websites. So that we can't watch that. But we're going to figure another way around this. So let me do this here. Let's see. This nigga's name is Rob Smith, for those of you who are interested. Rob. Come on, Chrome. Let's act like we're doing something today. Okay, damn. Okay, so Rob Smith. Okay. Nope, that's not what I was looking for. That's not what I was looking for. Rob Smith. Okay, a black gay Republican heckled with slurs at a MAGA event. Let's see, dude. Where are the videos, man? They done took the videos down? Because there is video to this event. I remember when the shit happened. Let's see. Does Newsweek have the video? No, they ain't got the video. Okay, so let's do this here. Fox DC. No, that's not it either. Okay, this is on Mediaite. Okay, so yeah, he did show up on CNN about this. So let me pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spann. Hold on just a second while I pull this up. Let me take this down. Let's do that and do that. Boom, boom. And let's see what they're talking about here on CNN when he showed up there to talk about it.
A conservative gathering turned hateful in Phoenix when Rob Smith, a black gay Republican influencer, says that he was heckled by what he describes as a group of white supremacists. Watch this. Now, Smith says this took place at an event hosted by an organization called Republicans for National Renewal, a right-wing pro-Trump advocacy group, and that organization has since issued a statement that reads in part, "The individuals involved were members of the public without any association with us, and we were actively involved in diffusing the situation and ensuring attendee safety." These sorts.
Now, mind you, this motherfucker went on TikTok to tell us how much he didn't want to be friends with Kamala Harris supporters, where the people who actually support the dude that he supports were actively in his face telling him he ain't shit, but he mad at us. Okay, bro. Okay.
Sorts of actions are not welcome at our events, and the individuals involved will be excluded from future events. An Ohio Republican who's running for a House seat there heard the commotion firsthand and later tweeted about it, dubbing the incident the unfortunate reality of a fractured party without leadership. Rob Smith joins me now. Rob, can you walk us through what happened there? How did you end up at this event, and how did you end up almost encircled by these people?
Well, the first thing that I want to say is that to anybody that thinks that this is somehow in some way fake or staged, I want to tell them that the hate crime that happened to Jussie Smollett was fake. This hate crime was very real. So how I ended up there was, this is a group called the Republicans for National Renewal. I was in Phoenix, Arizona for an event called America Fest, which is held by Turning Point USA. I went to this event because I saw that a lot of other conservative influencers would be there. I actually DM'd with this group. I said, hey, I'm going to come. Can you put me on the list? They said, sure. So that's how I ended up at the event. I had no idea that it was going to be infested with these people.
Was there some kind of confrontation that preceded?
Not infested with these people. They're not infested with these people. They infested with your people, nigga. Them your people. They're the motherfuckers you are aligned with. So when you get online on TikTok and start talking about, hey, I don't want to be friends with the Kamala Harris, nigga, don't nobody on the Kamala Harris team want to be fucking around with your bitch ass neither. Like, come on, let's keep it a buck, bro. Like, you not hurting no feelings over here. As a matter of fact, we like, nigga, this you? Right? Nigga, this you? This what you on? Go get the fuck out of here, bro.
Did what we saw in the video?
Yeah, there was actually. I realized that these people were starting to encircle me, and I kind of wanted to figure out what was going on. And what I will say, what a lot of people didn't see in that video is, number one, they did say the N-word. Absolutely, that was not caught on video, but that...
Man, so they called you a nigga too.
Did happen. And so, look, I am fourth ID. You know, I'm an Iraq War vet. I can know how to defend myself. But I am looking in the eyes of people that were actual neo-Nazis and actual white supremacists.
And you are in league with actual neo-Nazis and actual white supremacists, and you think that we want to be in league with your stupid ass. Get the fuck out of here.
There were about 20 to 25 of these people, and that is what you do not see on camera. So I had a choice to de-escalate the situation with humor, which is what I did.
So why would you have ended up at an event hosted by an organization that would have even had people like that?
Well, the interesting thing about what's going on in the Republican Party right now in the conservative movement is this. There are a lot of different factions. I in no way experienced anything like this before, and I have been a prominent Republican...
But you did this time.
Conservative figure for the past 5 years of my life. I have seen people all across this country, white, black, etc., that have accepted me for who I am as a black man, as a gay man, all of this stuff. I had no idea that this really even existed out there. And
of course you didn't. That right there sounds like entire bullshit, because Donald Trump has been courting this sort of level of bullshit his entire time for running for president, going back to 2015, bro. So you not like, for anybody who's been paying attention, we know, anybody who's been paying attention knows these are the type of people that they court. But the fact that this nigga goes on fucking social media is like, oh my God, I don't want to be in league with, I don't want to unify with Kamala Harris supporters. Meanwhile, the people that you seem to want to league up with are the people who hate your fucking guts. And they've said so to your face. And they've said so publicly on video. And you still get your stupid ass on national television and on social media talking about how you don't want to be in league with people who did not do this to you. Who did not do this to you? Come on, man. Come on. But you know.
Supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
We don't. We don't feel sorry for you, nigga. That's what happens. The leopards ate your face. It happens, man. It happens when you adopt that bullshit. But that ain't all, man. That ain't all. Because again, like I said, Donald Trump won. And his supporters are out here acting as though they are victims somehow, right? Another my bad, y'all. I hit the wrong tab. But check this out, man. So he's not the only one. He is not the only one. There's another prominent YouTuber who is also out here on the bullshit as well. So let me do this here. Let me go back to my pocket here. Oh shit. Let me do this. Get pocket. All right. So there's another prominent YouTuber that we're going to talk about here for a second. This one here comes out of Detroit. And no, I'm not talking about Kwame Kilpatrick. I'm not talking about that nigga. But I am talking about somebody who did have their asses on his, like they had Kwame Kilpatrick on their podcast, man. This dude goes by the name of Anton Daniels. Okay. He's some nigga out of Detroit, and he has come out as a Trump supporter. I'm sure there are some people who knows him to be a Trump supporter. I don't listen to this nigga's podcast, so you know, take that for what it is, right? But he went on YouTube and he talked about folks being mad at him for being a Trump supporter at a Detroit Pistons game. And to me, I mean, he's a Pistons fan, which is already kind of fucked up for him. But also to be like a Trump supporter in Detroit, I mean,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. There's no wonder you get D's and everything.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull this up so you guys can watch right along with your man Spans, because you know y'all gonna get the real here. So yeah, man, black people were mad. This is what he says on his YouTube video, that black people were mad, and all I gotta say is
That is not gangster. That's very not gangster. Man, I can't believe this. You a fraud.
What's done is done. Let's be solution oriented.
all right. But let's see what this goofy motherfucker got to say about this shit.
I pull up to the game in my MAGA hat. I'm out here in these streets, right? So I go to the game. I'm at the Lakers game, probably the biggest game in the city. You know what I'm saying? I pull up, making America great again, and I'll show you exactly.
By going to a Lakers game at the Little Caesars Arena, this nigga think he's making America great again. Come on, bro. The delusion.
I don't even care about the game itself. Pistons won, nice. But I'll show you where I was sitting, right? Seen all of that, blah, 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 blah.
We don't give a fuck.
Right up there at the top where it says Michigan. The Bet Rivers, Michigan first, right there. Anton is right there at the top of the key. Right? Great again. People are concerned about something that says make America great again. I'm going to tell you how backward society is today, okay? People are literally like, man, you got some courage to wear that. I can't believe that you was even able to get inside of the arena. And I'm thinking,
considering how many people in Oakland County and Macomb County and some parts of Wayne County voted for Donald Trump, nigga, ain't nobody surprised, bruh. Ain't nobody surprised. But you think that by getting online and saying this sort of silly shit that you out here being a fucking freedom fighter. Nigga, you not. You went to a Pistons game with a Make America Great Again hat, nigga. You are not special. You're a little stupid, not special.
To myself, because I don't operate on the same frequency as everybody else, right?
That much is clear. You look a little retarded, but that's that much is clear.
I'm operating on the same frequency of the foundation of the Constitution because we are in a republic. Understand this. This is a republic. I know that y'all didn't take civics. I know.
Oh, I did. And I'm glad that you said that. We are operating in a republic. You know, it's funny. A lot of these Republican motherfuckers actually come out here. No, we're in a constitutional republic. We do not live in a democracy, right? Keep that in mind, right? Because I find it interesting that this stupid motherfucker would even bring this up at this time when Donald Trump actually won the popular vote. Right? The nigga is too stupid to realize that this argument doesn't apply when his dude actually won the popular vote. Now, when it comes to the presidency, the Electoral College is what elects the president, despite what the popular vote is and everything else. But in every other fucking election in America, whether you voting for governor, whether you voting for senator, whether you voting for congressman, whether you voting for city council, whether you voting for mayor, whether you voting for comptroller, whether you voting for county executive, those people usually get elected by popular vote. The only office in America that gets elected without the popular vote is the presidency. That is the only one. So yes, nigga, I took civics. Talk that shit to somebody who don't know no fucking better.
I know that people don't really understand what we living in. I know that we are court of public opinion, identity politics. You gonna go based off of some misinformation that somebody told you online.
I don't have to go off of that, nigga. I also understand, and I like, again, misinformation, disinformation. That is what your candidate thrives off of. Thrives off of it. As a matter of fact, if it had not been for misinformation and disinformation, your candidate might not even be president-elect.
But I'm going to tell you the truth. We live in a republic. We are governed by the Constitution, not based off of majority rules. Let me say it again for the people in the back.
Say it again for the niggas who don't understand it yet. Like I said, it's very interesting that you decided to bring this up when your candidate actually won the popular vote this time, right? You picked a very interesting time to put to use that argument for any motherfucking thing.
You may not know this, but I'm going to educate you today.
You're not doing.
We are governed ultimately by the Constitution, not majority rule. So you may think that you live in a democracy, but in reality, the core of who we are is based off of the Constitution. So you're telling me that I'm supposed to be afraid of other human beings that bleed like me because I have a Make America Great Again hat on? Get the...
No, you ain't got to be afraid, bro. Like, I think most people are just like, man, you really came out here to advertise the fact that you're stupid. I think that's what it really is, man. It's not about you being afraid. It's about you advertising the fact that you're stupid. Nobody wants you to be afraid. Here's the thing, like this also has something to, like there was this thing on TikTok that's been going on for the last couple weeks now since Donald Trump won the presidency and everything else, right? There's been this thing on TikTok where there's been a bunch of white women who believe that liberal women across the country are about to gang up, drive down south, and start jumping on conservative white women, right? Despite the fact that, hey, man, despite the ridiculousness of it, hey, so, like, you think that liberal women is going to, like, gang up, drive down south, and just start jumping random white women? That's what they going to do? That's what y'all thought, right? There's a gang of white women who think, oh my God, there's this whole thing on TikTok, man. If you guys watch it, it's kind of crazy. The white women is out there losing their mind. They think that the world is coming to jump on them because they voted for Donald Trump. No, we know that America is stupid. We know that we live in a country where 54% of the American populace can't even read past the 6th grade level. So we know some of y'all are kind of fucking stupid. So it's not about you being afraid, bruh. It's about you advertising your stupidity. People don't want you out here looking like a goddamn fool. And for right now, you out here looking like a goddamn fool. You're not even educating nobody for real. You look like a fucking fool. That's why they out here. Damn, man, why you out here with that bullshit on? Come on, man. Come on, man. Cut that shit out, man. You ain't got to advertise that you stupid. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to be out here advertising your fucking humility, your stupidity and shit. That's stupid. Come on, man. Don't be out here come on. I like hanging with you, man. You kind of cool, man. I like hanging. I don't want nobody to know I'm out here hanging with a fool, though. That's what they doing. It's not about you being afraid. Ain't nobody about to go out here and touch you, bruh. That ain't what they own. But your people is trying to tell you, hey, man, you looking real stupid out here, and we don't want you. We kind of like you, but we don't want you out here looking dumb. And right now, you're looking dumb with that fucking hat on.
Get the hell out of here. You gotta be kidding me. But let me help you to understand exactly what my experience was. So I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. I'm rolling in. I'm getting to it. I'm hugging everybody. They hugging me. We having good energy. You know, the first person that questioned my hat. Now, of course, I know that people are staring at me, but I'm Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I'm the same person that walks in a crowd of people with a camera, vlogging, talking loud, and don't care nothing about what nobody think. I'm the same person.
You know what? You get that kind of vibe. As a matter of fact, I think most people understand an asshole when they see one, right? Everybody understands an asshole when they see one. And oftentimes, they let the asshole just be the asshole because they don't want to have to be the one to whoop his ass. Or oftentimes like, hey, man, this shit ain't even worth the headache. Let's go ahead, let this nigga, let the clown do what the clown is doing, bruh. Let the clown do what the clown is doing, man. It ain't worth the energy. But oftentimes, man, it's the clowns who want people to return the clown energy, bro. They want you to return that clown energy. So he's thinking that yo, I ain't got to adjust to the world. The world adjusts. Nah, nigga, people just hey, this nigga stupid. He ain't worth the fucking energy. He's not worth it. But they tell themselves They tell themselves that the world is just adjusting around. Nah, they just, we understand stupid people, bro. Smart people understand stupid people.
Person as I was in high school, I walked around with the utmost of confidence. I care nothing about what nobody.
And a lot of stupid people walk around with a lot of confidence. Let's not misunderstand that either. A lot of stupid people walk around with a shitload of confidence, bro. This is not a fucking. This isn't a game. This isn't a fucking drill. A lot of dumb motherfuckers walk around with the most confidence in the world, man. I forget what the fuck that's called, man. Fuck. I forget what that's called. I'm gonna look it up after this. I'm gonna look it up while this nigga's talking.
Thinks I am me and everybody has to move around me, and I don't adjust to my environment. The environment adjusts to me. That has been my mentality since the day I was born. That is my mentality today as a 42-year-old man, and nothing has changed. My life is.
It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. I knew it was a name for this shit. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. A lot of really fucking stupid people have a lot of overconfidence in their ability and like their knowledge of shit, when really they don't know what the fuck it is they're talking about, or they don't know the lack of knowledge that they don't have about an issue, subject, topic, whatever it is, right? The Dunning-Kruger effect. This nigga right here, prime example.
It's awesome. The world revolves around me. That's the way I see it, because I know that I'm right. And when you know that you're right, you operate in confidence. When you know that you got God on your side, you don't worry about what the world thinks. Why would I be concerned?
Not God on his side. Not God on his side, nigga.
People are hitting me up and saying, man, you ain't scared of what people gonna think. I got the Holy Ghost.
Not the Holy Ghost.
I got the Holy Ghost. I'm on the right side of history. Regardless of what happens in the election, I got the Holy Ghost and I'm on the right side of history.
MAGA! This nigga gotta be trolling. This nigga gotta be trolling, man. Oh my God, this nigga gotta be trolling.
Meaning that God is on my side. He sent the comforter and he gave me my agenda and he told me what to do. So if I care about what God thinks, what would I care about what man think? And that's why I don't understand these Christians. I don't understand people that care so much, because the loudest ones in the room is usually the ones that's demonic. And they bully people to doing what.
He's kind of loud on his mic though. Is he telling on himself? He's kind of loud on the mic.
What they want to do. But when did we start being so quiet? When God said that if we persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Wait. This nigga said he being persecuted for righteousness' sake?
Nigga!
Oh my God. Like real talk, I didn't watch this shit all the way through. I didn't know this nigga was gonna be this funny. But this shit is hilarious. Hold on. This shit is hilarious.
When did we start being so quiet? Why do I care about what other people think? And the first person that says something to me is somebody that I know. Somebody that I've been interacting with outside of, run into them. They done had courtside seats right along with me. And he said, oh man, I can't believe you, Anton. Oh, dog. I said, dog, you what?
Yeah, I can't believe this nigga is stupid. I can't believe. Damn, man, for real. This nigga dumb as hell, bro.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Hey, somebody he knows is like, bro, I can't believe you out here looking this dumb. Can't believe it. I'll be goddamn.
Watch my podcast. You know where I stand at. What you acting crazy for? Yeah, but you got the hat on today, man. Somebody come and tell him. And I was looking around. I said, who gonna tell me? Who gonna tell me?
Oh, shit.
Security love me. Police love me. They all right here. They all just hugged me and said, and they whispered in my ear. And here's the key. They whisper in your ear. The ones that actually believe in what you believe in, but they don't want to actually say it out loud because they're afraid of being ostracized.
Oh, the cowards. Okay. The cowards. Okay.
They're afraid of being criticized. They give you that. They give you a hug and say, yeah, man. Yeah, me too, man. I'm going to vote for Trump. And then they adapt around the rest of y'all. You don't even know that the majority of the people, they got conservative views just like me. I'm just the one that's loud enough to say it, and I'm the one the most confident. And you know what? Right after that, I got little kids, Chaldean kids, Arabic kids.
Oh, we not surprised about that. Think about this for a second. Niggas ain't surprised about that. We saw what happened in Dearborn. A lot of those Chaldeans, a lot of those Palestinians, a lot of those Lebanese folks, a lot of those folks who own restaurants, who own liquor stores, who own gas stations in and around the Detroit area. Like, we saw what happened in Dearborn. Dearborn like went Trump, right? And so because of what happened around that, because here's the rub. Here's the rub. So a lot of those folks decided they were going to vote against Joe Biden because Joe Biden was in alignment with Israel when it came to the war in Gaza. Okay, like off top, I told folk here on the podcast, although I don't necessarily agree, I understand. But when it comes to this motherfucking general election, y'all need to understand that shit right there, that shit's going on in Palestine right now. If you allow Donald Trump to become president of the United States, it's going to get a hell of a lot worse. So when Joe Biden becomes no longer the nominee and it's Kamala Harris and they still on the same shit, and they're trying to tie Kamala Harris to the shit that Joe Biden had going on, despite the fact that Kamala Harris is not the president. She's just the vice president. She has no say. But when they were out here talking that shit, okay, cool. When that happens, when Donald Trump becomes president, a lot of the pro-Palestinian movement that has so much support from the black community, a lot of that black community is going to start falling back because they saw the betrayal that y'all wouldn't allow for that black woman to take leadership in order to be a lever of negotiation, a level of power for your cause. So you may have fucked your people over there while thinking black folks were supposed to fuck ourselves over here. Okay? So the fact that you are out here talking about Chaldeans and Arabs and all these other people supported you with your Trump shit, nigga, we not surprised, bro. We not surprised. You're not telling anybody anything that we don't know. We see the game. But you thinking you're on the right side of history. This is hilarious.
And white kids running up to me. Oh my God, I love your hat.
Oh, and white kids. Notice this nigga that never said, not one black kid ran up to him and said that shit. So you are hanging your hat on the fact that Chaldeans and Arabs and white kids ran up to you to say that they loved your hat. You're a black man. Why are you talking about the black kids that ran up to you? One of the things I will always say about the black people, about the Arab people, about the Latino people who voted for Donald Trump, I'm going to say this here. I mean, I don't think I'm saying anything ever like revolutionary, to be quite honest with you. A lot of them see themselves above and apart from the communities from which they come. Right? There is a contingent of black folks who see themselves above and apart from the rest of the black community. There are some Arab folk who see themselves above and apart from the rest of that community. Same thing when it comes to Latinos and everything. There are people within said communities who see themselves above and apart. And when they see themselves above and apart, when it comes to voting for what's good for the community as a whole, they've already separated themselves from the community as a whole, so they vote for themselves, thinking that they've been aligned with who's in power, despite the fact that who's in power doesn't really value them. They are just the useful idiots that help them attain power. That is it. That is it. That is all. This stupid motherfucker here is one of those folk. He sees himself above and apart from black folks. Now, there's going to be a point in this. Y'all gonna see this. I'm gonna play this whole shit. This is gonna be the rest of the podcast. We're gonna play this whole shit out. This nigga sees himself above and apart from the rest of the black community. And it's going to play itself out. Just listen. Just listen.
I ain't have to worry about no black kids coming up to me. You know why? Because none of them was able to get in the players club because their parents couldn't afford to be there. So all of the
that didn't take long. That didn't take long at all.
ones that's criticizing me are the ones that just so happen to get their tickets given to them, and the ones that really celebrate what I got going on can afford to be there. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? I'm telling you, it is the weirdest thing ever. Let me help you to understand something, bro. I sat there and I met some of the most prominent people that were visiting and that were core people in the city. And we exchanged information, we exchanged phone numbers, and I'm not even gonna say who their name is or what their position.
I'm sure they don't want you to say their names either, because they're not fool enough to be out here walking around with a goddamn MAGA hat on, and they don't want their business fucked up because you out here talking shit on YouTube. I'm sure they don't want you out here talking about who they are and blowing their shit up because you's a loud, stupid motherfucker. I'm sure they don't want you saying their name out in public.
Is because I'm not trying to put them out there like that. Good people doing business, and also they got my back and they gonna make sure that I'm protected. I mean, it was crazy. The amount of love that you get when you operate in the confidence of God is amazing. It's amazing.
Stop putting your shit up under God, bro. God ain't got shit to do with Trump. God ain't got shit to do with that.
But here's the other part about it. So I'm sitting there and it's halftime and the game has started. And I compliment this woman's boots that's sitting next to me. And Rita's right across the table. And there's two black women over to my right-hand side, right? And so the one woman then says, she's staring. First, I give her a compliment. Oh, my God, thank you. Or whatever. Hey, where'd you get these from? Mr. B's. You know who you are. You know who you are. I know you watch the show. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. I'm going to tell on you today. I ain't going to tell them your name because I don't know your name, but I would tell them your name if I knew your name because I need you to be coming to the front of the congregation. So this little tackhead black woman is sitting there.
Now, mind you, again, these niggas see themselves above and apart from the black community. He's talking about black women. Talking about black women. And it's the level of disrespect that he's talking about these black women. Like off top. There's disrespect off top about how he's talking about the black women. He's got all the love in the world for the Chaldeans and the Arabs and the white kids. But when he's talking about black women, can't wait to be disrespectful. Can't wait to be fucking dismissive about what these black women have to say. Come on now.
Next to me, why you got that hat on? And then she says it under her breath, sell out.
I mean, it wasn't like she lied, nigga. She didn't lie.
I ain't say nothing.
Because you was a bitch.
But just a minute before, when I was complimenting her boots, she told me that one of her friends that worked with her got her friend to be able to give him some tickets because he wasn't going to be in town for the night. For that.
Why is that important? Right? Why is that important?
At night. So she just so happened to get in the Players Club because she got somebody else's tickets. Tackhead. Cool, I ain't tripping about that. You got somebody else.
Clearly you are tripping about that. Clearly you are tripping about that. Because if you weren't tripping about that, it wouldn't be a part of your fucking story, nigga. Wouldn't even came up. But it's a part of your story now. So clearly you bothered by that.
Else's tickets. And called me a sellout under her breath.
Cause you is.
So say it out loud with your chest.
I'm saying it out loud, nigga.
I just don't understand. That's what she said. I don't understand. I just don't understand why you would vote for him. I said, why wouldn't I vote for him? Well, he got all of these charges against him. Honest to God on everything on my daughter's life. I said this. This is what I said to her. I said, tell me about the charges. What was the charges?
Okay, let's talk about the charges. Let's talk about the 34 charges that he was convicted of in New York when it came to his hush money his hush money shit when it came to Stormy Daniels, where he used his lawyer to pay this woman hush money from campaign funds in order to keep that story out of the motherfucking public so that it wouldn't further damage his political career back in 2016. How about we talk about the fucking the goddamn. Nah, I'm drawing a fucking blank. It's so many charges. The nigga had like 90 something fucking charges. How about we talk about the documents, right? How about we talk about the classified documents as his motherfucker had hidden in the goddamn Mar-a-Lago that he could have just returned to the goddamn government, but he decided he didn't want to fucking do that. And so the government decided, hey man, the only option we have is to indict this motherfucker to get these goddamn documents back that he was keeping in his goddamn bathroom. Okay, how about the insurrection that this motherfucker instigated in front of everybody? In front of everybody. We saw the shit in broad fucking daylight, nigga. Where he incited a riot on the U.S. Capitol because he lost a fucking election back in 2020. Right? These are the things. On top of that, on top of calling the Secretary of State in Georgia, where in Georgia he was trying to get the Secretary of State to find him 11,780 votes so he can be above Joe Biden in the vote count in Georgia because he lost Georgia by 11,779 votes. Right? These are the things that happened. So what this dumb motherfucker or this stupid motherfucker or this coon ass bitch ass nigga wants us to believe is that this is all misinformation. This is all shit somebody just told us. Like we didn't just see all this shit happen. Like they ain't videotapes and they ain't audio tapes of this nigga calling people and trying to get shit. His own motherfucker. Hey, Rudy Giuliani is out here bankrupt, nigga. Behind the shit that Donald Trump did. Rudy Giuliani's out here talking, I can't pay my bills. I ain't got no monies. Because these women just done sued me. I ain't even got a checking account. I ain't got no credit cards. I ain't got nothing. Donald Trump done left this motherfucker hanging. Now, if he gonna do this shit to people who like had it, like who went to bat for him, imagine what he would do with your coon ass. Imagine what he would do for you. While you out here rocking the hat like, yeah, why wouldn't I vote for him? Meanwhile, motherfuckers who actually were like, had shit vested in Donald Trump are out here catching felony cases, out here being sued, out here being bankrupt behind the shit that they did for Donald Trump. Meanwhile, your bitch ass, coon ass, stupid ass is out here trying to belittle a black woman at a Pistons game because she called you out on wearing that stupid ass hat. The nerve of you niggas. The absolute unmitigated gall of you niggas. Donald Trump only ran because he was trying to stay his ass out of jail. And you are out here trying to justify that bullshit by walking into a predominantly black city, rooting for a team that predominantly black people root for, and being upset that black people are looking at you like the coon that you is. Make it make sense, bro.
I mean, they out there. I can look them up. I said, no, tell me about them. Tell me about the charges. What is it that he got charged with, and what do you disagree with?
We already talked about that.
What do you think he should be convicted for?
We could talk about those classified documents. We could talk about that insurrection. He's already been convicted of. As a matter of fact, he's also been civilly adjudicated as being a rapist. Right? So much so that he owes a woman by the name of E. Jean Carroll over $80 million because he continuously besmirches her name in public. So he owes over $80 million to one lady for like not only sexually assaulting her, but also disparaging her name. But then also he owes money. He was convicted 34 times of falsifying documents in campaign finance fraud in New York for the shit that would happen with Stormy Daniels. Also, when it came to the insurrection, charges on that. Then you got the state shit going on in Georgia for him trying to overturn the election in Georgia. Like, come on, bro. See, what he wants to do is he wants to try to belittle him. And he presents this shit as he's presenting this story as if he's talking to someone who isn't versed on what is actually happening with Donald Trump. And because he's presenting this story as if he's talking to someone who isn't versed, he couldn't stand a chance against someone who actually knows what the fuck Donald Trump has been accused of, what the fuck Donald Trump is guilty of, what he's been convicted of, and had he not been elected president, would have been convicted of in court. But because of the rules and because of the fact that America has decided to turn a blind eye to what he was convicted of, decided to turn a blind eye of what he was charged of, and allowed this motherfucker to become president-elect again, he thinks that that woman is wrong. When although that woman couldn't necessarily articulate why everything that was going on with Donald Trump was wrong, that don't mean that she was wrong. And you still a coon ass nigga.
I mean, he got him. I said, you can't. In my mind, I said, you can't be this slow. I said, but this is gonna be hilarious. So Rita's sitting there like, she already know what's about to happen. So I says, what is it that you don't agree with? I mean, what about Project 2025?
You know, it's interesting. Project 2025, but I'm gonna let you talk yourself into this shit.
I said, you know that's not of him, right? What the media said it was of him.
You know that's it. That's not of him, right? All right. So, Project 2025, Donald Trump, when it became a thing, when Donald Trump figured out that Project 2025 was unpopular with the American people, Donald Trump decided that he was going to try to distance himself from Project 2025, right? That's what Donald Trump tried to do. He wanted to distance himself from that. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on a second. Let me pull that video back up. I'm going to pull that back up. Let's do this here. Let me do this here. Let me pull that back up because I didn't mean to take that down. But when it came to Project 2025, I had like at least five different articles just this week of Donald Trump trying to downplay his involvement with Project 2025. But we get this story here. This comes out of NBCnews.com. It says that Trump's transition team turns to Project 2025 after disavowing it during the campaign.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
Said President-elect Donald Trump and his allies disavowed the conservative Project 2025 during the election, seeing the conservative transition plan and policy blueprint as a liability after Democrats used it to attack his campaign. Some close to Trump even suggested that those tied to the effort would be shut out of a potential administration. They made themselves nuclear. Howard Lutnick, the co-chair of Trump's transition and his nominee to serve as Commerce Secretary, told CNBC in September. But with the campaign over, Trump's transition team is turning to Project 2025 to help staff the next fucking administration. MAGA! Already, transition officials are taking suggestions for potential hires from the executive personnel database created by Project 2025. A person familiar with the situation told NBC News. While Project 2025's massive book of conservative policy recommendations received most of the attention from Democrats, a central part of the effort was putting together a database that officials had framed as conservative LinkedIn to help staff an incoming Republican administration. The person familiar with the transition said officials overseeing plans for some departments and agencies have started to reach out to potential hires whose names and contact information were part of that database. Individuals helping fill out the personnel teams for the Trump transition operation have sought and used information from the Project 2025 database because the enormity of the task of filling out more than 4,000 political appointee jobs that will become vacant in 2025, this person said. There's a lot of positions to fill, and we continue to send names over, including ones from the database, as they are conservative, qualified, and vetted. The person who worked on Project 2025 said, hard to find 4,000 solid people, so we are happy to help. The receptiveness to using Project 2025's database for potential hires comes as the transition has already shown it is open to tapping contributors to the effort for administrative jobs, including Tom Homan as board czar, Brendan Carr as chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, and John Ratcliffe as CIA director. Both Homan and Ratcliffe were listed as contributors to Project 2025, while Carr authored a chapter on the FCC.
I'll be a monkey's bare-assed uncle.
So, yeah, nigga. We knew it was bullshit. We all knew it was bullshit. Those of us who paid attention. Those of us who paid attention knew it was bullshit. But you will get your bitch ass on YouTube and gaslight a whole hell of a lot of people. You being from Detroit makes it even more egregious. But you would get your bitch ass on YouTube and gaslight a whole hell of a lot of people and say, that's not of Trump. Meanwhile, Trump is hiring all of these motherfuckers from Project 2025. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga?
I'm telling you word for word what happens.
We don't know that this shit is even word for word. He acted as though he's talking about an ignorant black woman who doesn't know what's going on, right? So even in the telling of the story, the black woman in the story that he's talking about, she has to be ignorant. But she has an idea, hey, this is some bullshit. Even people who ain't always on the up and up, knowing shit don't smell good, nigga. You don't smell good, nigga. You smell like a bitch ass nigga right now. You smell like a coon ass nigga right now. You smell like a nigga that don't give a fuck about black people right now. That's what it smells like. But you would get your ass on YouTube and try to paint a black woman as ignorant. Meanwhile, she has more of a motherfucking inkling as to what's going on for real than your bitch asses is. Despite the fact that you would try to act as if she doesn't.
I said, okay, a lot of misinformation. What else don't you agree with? I mean, he trying to get police immunity.
That much is true also. That much is true also. They're also advocating for a qualified immunity for police to be able to get off on killing unarmed citizens, killing citizens with impunity and not having to deal with any sort of police or any sort of oversight whatsoever. That ain't a fucking joke, nigga. Here's the thing. Is that there's so many people, even so, like here, there are Mexicans who believe that even though they came here legally, or better yet, not even legally, there are Mexicans who came here illegally who believe that because they didn't commit any crimes, that they are perfectly safe, and they voted. And they support Donald Trump. There are black people who believe that because black people also are being shot down by the police, that those black people they deserved what happened to them. Again, many of the people in minority groups who are in these voting blocks for Donald Trump, they see themselves above and apart from the communities from which they came from. So this dude sees himself above and apart. I would hope that he never has an interaction with the cops that involves guns being drawn. I would hope that never happens to him. But judging based on the way he talks about these sorts of things, he acts as though he's exempt from what could possibly happen. And I would hate for him to get that wake-up call or that dirt nap. I would hate for that to happen to him. Real talk.
To come and kill us. What if he take over the government and then he just completely makes himself king? Do you know, I mean, this woman had to be in her upper 40s, at least 40 something. You know the profile, possibly diabetic, food.
Again, he's got to denigrate this black woman. We don't even know if this black woman is real, but the woman is black considering the woman is black based upon the story that he's been telling us. We don't even know if this black woman is real. But he's got to disrespect her in many ways. There's something wrong here. Something very wrong here.
Us, bad skin, lips black, nice shoes though. Nice shoes. The question that then comes to my mind often at these times is, do you waste your time and throw your pearls to swine? Because if I don't have the camera on, then that means that I can't really capture it, so I can't really profit from it. And so if it's not beneficial to me, and I know that people are going to be the way that they're going to be regardless, then should I waste my time? That's the dilemma. The dilemma that I go through on a regular basis when I get into these conversations with my black of the black on the black hand side people is, do I waste my time? And so I make a small attempt to educate her. I said,
how you going to educate her when you don't know shit? How are you educating anybody when you don't know shit? When you think the charges that were against Donald Trump was some bullshit. When you think that Project 2025 was not that Project 2025 was not of Donald Trump. When you think that Donald Trump has not flirted with the idea of doing away with the Constitution, despite the fact that he said so publicly. When you think that Donald Trump isn't trying to become president beyond 2 terms, how are you throwing pearls to swine when the swine is you? How are you doing that? The swine is you. You the pig. You're not casting pearls. You don't have much knowledge to really give to anyone politically, to be honest with you. Anyone who's been paying attention politically knows that you're full of shit. Any of us know this.
You know the police immunity thing is just a talking point. It doesn't absolve the police officers from being held accountable for the things that they do outside of their training and the manual within their department. And so if they didn't do it, then they're not immune to their personal assets being gone after and for them to be held accountable for their actions if they unjustly do something to somebody and it's against the law. But if you operate within the police manual and so on and so forth, naturally you should be protected, especially personally, from the things that you do in your job, similar to if you was a tax accountant or if you was a lawyer.
Imagine being a black man going on YouTube talking about police being able to lawfully kill black people, which they've been doing with impunity, by the way. Imagine being on YouTube as a black man talking about the police being able to kill black people with impunity because of what the handbook says. Nigga, are you out of your fucking mind? For real. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Right? And you create a business in order to protect your personal assets from it. But it doesn't absolve you from being held accountable for your actions. You know what that's mean, right? If you actually understood the law here, let me show it to you, and I started to pull it out. I don't even care. I just don't like him. I said, Rita said, Anton, don't even waste your time.
And with that, I'm no longer about to waste my time. Because we know coons when we see them. And we'll end it on this. But the point that I'm making with all of this is that when it comes to people like this Anton Daniels motherfucker and that Rob Smith motherfucker, is that these are people whose dudes won. Like, they do won. And they are walking around as though they are being victimized. I've never seen somebody who won politically act as though they're being victimized. And the reason why I think they feel like they're being victimized is because they know. They know that in the grand scheme of things, they're not on the right side of history. They know that they're going to be seen as the people that were against Malcolm X, the black people who were against Martin Luther King Jr., the black people who were against W.E.B. Du Bois, the black people who were against Frederick Douglass. We like oftentimes, man, we romanticize, our civil rights leaders, but also at the same time, we have to recognize that even in their time, there were some people who looked like them. There were some people who looked like them who weren't seeing to the fact, who weren't seeing to their success, who weren't seeing to the success of black people as a whole. You got individuals out here who don't give a fuck about the people. They just give a fuck about themselves. And if I can make a way for myself, that's all I care about. So that will give you people like a Anton Daniels or Kwame Kilpatrick or a Candice Owens or a Tim Scott or a Byron Donalds. They will sacrifice their integrity publicly, shitting on their own people to advance themselves. So yeah, man. With that, I'm about to get on up out of here. All right. But of course, before we get on up out of here, I got to remind you guys how to get in touch with your man Spann and let your voice be heard. Go ahead and hit up the hotline at area code 313-288-0485. There's area code 313-288-0485. Leave us those voicemail messages. Of course, those messages will get played here and responded to here live on the show. Also, hit me up on Threads, Instagram, and Blue Sky. On Threads and Instagram, I am Mr._Spann. So go ahead and follow me there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week. On Blue Sky, I'm Mr. Spann.bsky.social. All right. Go ahead and follow your man Spann there. Chop it up with your man Spann throughout the week on Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram. Also, follow your man Spann on YouTube, man. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave us not only subscribe to the channel, but also leave us a thumbs up and comment on the videos, man. We really appreciate everybody who does that. Doesn't cost you a dime, man. and we really appreciate everybody who does that. But also, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and or Spotify. For those of you who do that, doesn't cost you a dime. It's a couple minutes of your time to let everybody know why you're rocking with us over here at the Mr. Spann Official Podcast and the Spann Report Podcast Network in its entirety. But also, man, go to our store at T Public. Go ahead and copy yourself some merch, man. Copy yourself a t-shirt. Copy yourself a coffee mug. Copy yourself a hat, because we
got some hats now, motherfuckers.
We got some hats now, motherfuckers. So go ahead, copy yourself a hat, copy yourself a t-shirt, copy yourself a coffee mug, copy yourself a mouse pad. We got some stuff over there, and we really appreciate all of you who got help us in that way, man, who will really support the show in that way. And that does cost you a little bit of money, but you get something in return, man, real talk. But I'm gonna get ready to get on up out of here. I will talk to you guys again soon. But until next time, fam, peace. Oh, shit. I'm supposed to be doing this here.